All right. Good evening, everybody. Sorry about the little bit of a delay, but things just weren't cooperating for a moment there. And I don't know why, but it happens that way sometimes. Who knows? But welcome to Bourbon Neophyte. I'm Anthony, and tonight we're going to talk about FOMO. Everybody, I'm sure, knows what that is, fear of missing out on something. I think we've all done that a few times on different bottles and things that we've been waiting, on to get, and we've heard some good things. And, you're kind of always on the hunt for that next bottle. And you just, get that, I don't want to miss out on it. So when, I don't know, let's just say Bardstown comes out with something, um, you name it, it doesn't make a difference. Everyone has that fear sometimes. You just got to have it. Well, we've all fall victim to it. So one of the things, kind of ironically, that happened to me and is a little over a year ago, and most people do know that I have an affection for Bardstown products, particularly their Discovery and Fusion series. So last year, I had the opportunity to get the Disco 5 pretty much before it even hit the shelves. I knew somebody, and when I happened to be in the particular shop, they came to my ear and told me what they had, and they placed it in my hands, and I didn't even stay. I mean, I went right to the counter. I paid for that thing, and I took off with it. Like I said, we've all done it. And, I've had this bottle of Disco 5 for a little over a year. And if you guys saw the review I had done on it, I wasn't happy with it. Even though I heard other people say, try before you buy, I know taste is subjective, and what one person likes or doesn't like doesn't mean the other person will either like it or not like it. But I just had to have it because it come right after 4, and that was the next thing. And like I said, it never hit the shelf. It hit my hand. It went from the truck to their receiving, from the box to my hand. I couldn't resist it. And I took it to the thing. And I mean, I did not want to miss out. I wanted to taste the next thing from Bardstown. Well, as everybody knows, like I said, I was disappointed in it because that Dickel juice just came through. The minerality was awful to me. I really, really, really did not enjoy those pours. However, I choked it down. I got it to the shoulder and I went back at it, a couple weeks later. Wasn't impressed at all. I put it on the shelf and just left it in the back. And I was like, oh, I'm so disappointed in a bottle. So disappointed. And I went back to it about 7 months or more later because, like I said, I did a revisit on it. I did another live. I did a revisit on that. Just so happens, guess what's in this glass? It got to the point where I can drink it. Now I've had it for over a year and it's palatable to me now. It that some of that minerality has died down, although it's still there. And I'm not like, oh my God, this is like, wow, I gotta have it every night. No. But now for me it's drinkable. But I had that FOMO. I didn't want to miss out on that thing. Well, that kind of cured me of it. And I just don't go out and I'm not running after these bottles anymore. It's just not something that uh, I just don't do. In other words, I'm not saying I don't look, but if somebody were to call me and say, hey, this is here, that's there, I am not either telling them to pick it up for me. I will meet them, or I'm not leaving my house to run to the store to get it. Yeah, just not gonna happen. I mean, well, all right. Let me just say, I don't want to say not gonna happen, but it's a 99.5% chance it's not gonna happen anymore. So that being said, I'll get into my next little FOMO story. I just got to reach out to everybody here that's popping in chat because I just didn't want to lose my train of thought and I want to kind of stay on task a little bit here. But hey, appreciate you popping in here, Brian, as always. Thank you very much. Isaiah, cheers, man. Nice to see you. Hey, Bourbon Brigade. Sorry, I meant to pop on your stream after Bad X and watch that thing. I got tied up yesterday when Bad X popped in here earlier and said, hey, he's got to get up early too, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And as soon as I saw his name appear, I'm like, oh, shit, I forgot. So sorry, man. However, next time, I swear, I promise. But I can always go back and watch them. But anyway, felt bad about that. Like I said, as soon as I saw Bad X, I went, ah, it happens. Sorry again. Hey, B. Bauer, cheers. Thank you for popping in here. Evening, Steve. Cheers. Well, I hope you're enjoying that cigar and it's not too cold there as you're sitting outside. But appreciate you being here. Tell Michelle I said hello. Hey, what is up, man? Always the dream. In only a year, it'll be drinkable. Well, you know what, Dustin? It's drinkable. It's not totally enjoyable, but it is drinkable compared to what it was a little over a year ago. And you know what's funny? I don't get a lot of that minerality anymore on the nose. And I purposely had a few sips to get the palate shock over with, the whole 9 yards to get that done. That. And I mean, I get it, but not like I did initially. Not like I did initially. No, not at all. Not at all. So even the nose for me is improved. Come on here, people. What are we doing here? Wake up. Here we go. Sorry. Hey, Matt. How are you over there, man? I know it's late for you. You got one eye open as you're watching this, but thanks for popping in. Richie, thank you for coming in, man. Appreciate you as always. Oh my goodness, look at this here. Mr. Jackson. What's up, brother? Nice to see you. And yes, please remember, everybody, hit the like button while you're here. If you are new and you're just kind of sitting back and watching things going on, hey, hit that like button and please subscribe and support the channel. And remember to click on that bell so you do get the notifications. It always helps and it is greatly appreciated. Bill, cheers, man. Nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Jay, long time no see or talk to. Cheers. Hey, guys, cheers. Good stream. I was in and out, but was sitting watching a movie tonight and was just a little lazy and didn't want to get out of the chair. So my apologies, but always great to see Livewire Whiskey, Mr. Whiskey Shits, Mr. Stahl himself. One of my favorite Canadians here, Mr. Rance. Always a pleasure to see you here. It truthfully is. Really do appreciate you all for coming in here. And appreciate everyone just cheersing everybody, saying, hey, holy smokes, what is up, girl? Are you off work yet? No, I don't think so. I think I'm still about an hour behind you. You probably got an hour to go, correct? I can't remember. I know you're down in, I think it's Texas, right? My gosh, I'm trying to remember. That's what happens when you get to be my age, but totally get it. So thank you for popping in here. Really do appreciate it. Nice to see her. She works that graveyard shift, night shift, whatever you want to call it. It's just, I didn't like it. That's for sure. Did not like it. Yeah. We were watching just just a movie and you know what? I was like, what the heck? Oh, well, you know what? If you got time, why don't you pop on for a few? No pressure, don't have to. I do have the link already in chat. So feel free if you want to. No big who. But so, like I said, I'm pretty much over the FOMO. Well, I don't know if I call it FOMO, but what it comes down to is, yeah, I was overcome with it, but it hit me and I didn't even know it. So I had a chance to pick up these damn things. And I know there's nothing special about the juice, but because the holiday bottle happened to show up and I picked it up for 19 bucks a piece, I couldn't pass this juice up. So, all right, I had a FOMO incident here. Fear of missing out. I just wanted it for what is on the front of this bottle. It'll go up there with the rest of them from last Christmas, last Halloween, this Halloween, 4th of July, past 4th of July, the clear bottles, the whole story. I mean, what the heck? But it's there, but I had to have it. And so I guess you could say I had that moment of FOMO. Eh, it is what it is. And I didn't even think about it. They were just on the shelf. Exactly what I said, 19 bucks. It was a Black Friday, one of those things at midnight, and did a double take, and I said, "I just want 3." Thum I'm gonna I got one for myself, I've got one to drink, and I've got one for a giveaway. So yeah, what the heck? Yeah, well, yeah, they're 34 bucks, and you usually can find these, Richie, afterwards, even, some of the Halloween ones for about 21 to 24 bucks because I just wanna clear them out, and what's real neat about the Halloween ones from this year, the bottle glows in the dark. So, Andrew Chance scored me mine, so, because he happened to be in the right place at the right time. So, I don't have it here yet, however, I got it, and as everybody knows, the straight bourbon that's in there is no different than the standard bottle. There's nothing special about the juice. It's just the decoration on the bottle. That's all. See, see, I was like that. The Discovery 5 is the one that broke me, Steve. They are. The first Discovery I bought was 119 bucks out the door, if I remember correctly. It was 119 bucks. And I think what did I pay for the 5? I wanna say it was about 129, not sure, but, uh, I've seen them up at 149 and 159, and it's like they're pushing themselves out, particularly when they're mixing this Tennessee crap in there. It's just not my cup of tea. Um, and like I said, now that this is sat for a year, this is the Disco 5, uh, it's alright. But I'm happy now that I can drink it, but, and that's right, the whiskey is getting younger. It Some of them I don't get that young note, but when you really look at what's in some of them and you add it up, now the youngest this one has is 6 year in the 5, even though it has 17-year and 13-year and stuff, but, almost 40% of the whiskey is the younger, so under 7. But anyway, uh, it's just that Tennessee in there that just doesn't do it for me. Just doesn't do it for me at all. You know, eh, still trying. Still trying to get on the front end of that early release whiskey. Oh, Glenallachie 10 cast strength, please. That would be wonderful. How about Lafroig cast strength? Yeah, I just don't see them here in Vegas. It'd be great. I just don't see it. Let's see. I get FOMO with the store and group picks mostly. I need to remind myself if every single barrel was good, there wouldn't be blends. You know what? You're right. Um, like I said, I get carried away with the picks too. I like them. And right now I've got this affection for the Frey Ranch picks. Um, They are phenomenal. I haven't had a pick from Frey Ranch that I didn't like. I am not fond of the standard Frey Ranch. You can keep the standard Frey Ranch. Not fond of it at all. Not at all. Let me get up here and say, cheers to Andrew, man. If you want to pop on, you got all the information. Feel free. But getting back to B. Bauer here, you know what? It is. I'm a fan of the picks. And like I said, the Frey Ranch is it. And then I just got a Russell's pick. And that was the one that Shane has been touting. And you know what? It turned out to be pretty darn good pick. It really has. And, I hate to bust Shane's chops. However, I do enjoy it. But damn it, he called it on this pick. And I have to give him credit where credit is due. And it just pains me like it does everybody else to say Shane was right. But,
he wasn't right.
Do it.
Never.
Now, I can't argue with him on this pick. I can't do it.
You guys are silly.
Oh, no, that wrong one.
What are you drinking, Anthony?
I am just
You talking about that one?
Disco 5. I'm getting ready to, I'm almost done with it to pour something good. Pour something good.
I don't have 5. I have 8.
Yeah, you're lucky I don't have that.
Oh,
To
what are you going to pour
be
next?
fair, I would have never known about that turkey if it hadn't been for Greg McDonald.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
Well, it's too bad Greg McDonald likes farm animals.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Well, I wouldn't say he likes farm animals, but he definitely likes stray animals. That dude's got more cat. He's going to be an old cat lady when he
Dude, he
finally
likes
retires.
cats.
Yeah.
There ain't no lie there.
Well, the only reason why I took advantage of that deal, I honestly, I just happened to be up and I knew that they were having deals at Liquor Lineup and I just popped on and I saw that and I'm like, gotta have it, especially at that price.
Oh my gosh, a Whiskey Nose Gold Glen.
But I'm waiting for Anthony. I don't know what to pour next for my nightcap.
Oh, yeah, I got one more in me too.
You pour whatever
I love
you
the
want.
shot glass, Shane. I'm gonna get one.
I'm just finishing up this Disco
Old
5.
Man Joe.
It's not painful, but I'm doing it.
All right, I'll pick something then.
So what were you? I have to apologize, Anthony. I didn't hear the first part of what you were talking about with that pick, or were you just giving me shit because I was in the background?
Oh, I didn't know you were in the background right off the bat, but B. Bauer was talking about picks, and I said, I love the Frey Ranch, and then I said, but there's this Russell's pick, and then I was talking about you, and then I did catch you on my peripheral vision, so. But I was like, I hate to give Shane credit where it's due, but he was touting this, and it's good. And when that thing opens up in another week or so, when that thing really opens up, I'm expecting that cherry note to be more prevalent. At least that's what I get out of it. And Richie,
Yeah, mine's down that far.
Never had.
Mine's down to the top of the label, and the cherry has popped.
Yep, that's what I'm waiting for. I might have some. Is that the Corey's?
This is one I'm getting because you got it for me, Anthony.
Like I said, that's the Corey's.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really good at 132 on the proof. Yeah, that's really.
Although
good.
I think the label was wrong on this one, right?
It is. They still got it at 136, if I'm not mistaken.
So it says 67.85%, but 137.7.
Yeah, that is not correct. Yes, and I called him on that, and he said, "Yeah, it's not right." And I said, "I know." So we kind of have a little bit of a collector's item. So anybody that got that bottle, if
I
they
shouldn't have
know,
opened it,
and it's wrong.
One of those famous Frey Ranch mistakes.
Now I've never had the 3, Richie, because it wasn't available here. And I've got feelers out because I'm sure there's someone sitting on some shelf somewhere dustier than the son of a gun, but that would give me 1 through 5 as far as the Discovery series. And they don't come out here to Nevada anymore. So the FOMO for me on that has left the building. I'm done with it.
Did you start off with your biggest FOMO story?
This Disco 5. Yep.
The Disco 5. Okay.
The Disco 5. And that I said that pretty much cured me. And then I had a FOMO moment and didn't realize it when I came across this because of the holiday bottle, and I sucked up 3, and I'm like,
got it over, boys.
And I'm like, I'm done with this FOMO stuff. And then I bought this, and not until today when I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh, you're an ass. Hey, speaking of a good-looking guy we were talking about earlier, I mean, got to be like, I got to bring this card up because you can't get better than this. You just can't. Oh,
What's
look
up,
at this.
Marty?
Marty.
Look at this.
Hello, ladies.
What the heck?
Hey, you all can just go ahead and just, let Marty know what you want.
I was in the bed sound asleep and I got a notification. I was like, you know what?
Sound asleep?
Yeah, I was watching Livewire. I mean, and then, no, I'm kidding. Look at
See what
Mike.
happens?
Mike wants to fucking kill me already.
Falling asleep during Livewire is common even if you join Livewire.
I actually saw Eric. So, yeah. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Martin.
Cheers, Marty.
Good night, Greg.
Good night, Greg, you old goat.
Yeah, go to bed, Greg. Fucker.
I had some of that B-Bauer, and I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was phenomenal juice, but I would tell you, give it some thought. I think it has some promise, and I'm glad that I got to try it before I pulled the trigger on it. That's what I'll say. I didn't think it was terrible, but the price was like, I don't know. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. But there's the man right there. What's
I'm
up,
out.
Rob?
Rob, what's up?
What's going on, boys? Marty rolled over and told me he was going over to Anthony, so
He rolled
So
over.
you guys
Yeah,
forgot
yeah, he
Livewire
woke
was
me up.
on earlier?
They were spooning.
right.
I'm
Were
telling
you
you.
two
a
making
little
out
spoon.
on a private stream?
You never know.
That's
You'd
none of your
never-
damn business,
We'll
Mike.
never know.
But yeah, we were a little bit.
Jay, you have never, well, it depends on where you are. Okay, I can understand why you could say you've never seen that because it isn't everywhere.
Hey, it just came to Virginia.
What is it?
Smoke wagon.
Smoke wagon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, what's up, Jack?
Ugh.
Anthony,
Trevor,
it's so
cheers.
good to see you and talk to you, buddy. Man, it's been a while. I
Yeah,
know we
man.
texted.
Hey, I understand. I understand. It's at
You
work.
went
It's
to
in the
late
way.
night TV. You know I'm old, man. I got to go to bed 9:30,
So-
10 o'clock. But
Anthony, I have
know.
a question for you.
Yeah.
What was the bottle this year? We're like almost done with December. What was the bottle this year you wish you would have bought a backup of? The FOMO of buying a backup.
FOMO of buying a backup. Which one I wish I would. I tell you what, I don't know. I'm still on the fence on this one, so I'm not going to say that. Hold on. I already got a backup for the one I really liked. I ran out and bought that, so that doesn't count. The one I will say this, and I looked at it again. I wish I would have got a backup of the Frey Ranch we got from Corey's. The one you're drinking. Yes, that one. Yeah, that one.
What's a year on it, Mike?
I don't think they're age stated.
It's
I
dark
just
as
like
hell.
I just like mine a little more than you, Mike.
Dude, I drink once a
step
week.
up your game.
It's
Shane knows.
I mean, this thing, I got it half gone and I'm purposely not touching. But this was one of those ones where you drink it. It's
My
good because you had
bottle-
the sample.
My
And
bottle is way a cooler number than your bottle.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine's 12.
Mine's number 200 on the button.
Correct. Because mine was in the beginning. Adam's, I think, was in the middle, and yours was at the end. And was just like, is there a difference in?
I love the back door.
Well, my thing is it better in the
Sounded
beginning,
wrong.
the middle, or the end? Is there more char at the end? You know, what were you getting?
What about you, Shane? What's your bottle you wish you bought a backup of this year?
I don't have one. I got backups to all the ones I wanted.
Really? That's good.
Yeah.
Even Dragon Bones? Because I heard that they didn't have any backups of those.
No.
I got backups.
You see how he is?
Mine's easy.
Man, it's tough. Like, I can't think of any that were just that I didn't get backups to. Like, I'm usually pretty good about that.
I wish I would have got a backup of the Sherry G bottle from.
That's probably one that would have been nice. I'd like to have one that it didn't open, just to pull out in a couple of years or something.
What about you, Marty?
Probably Malort.
Oh, I got you, bro.
That fits your hat, bro. I got you one for Christmas.
I've heard you really like Malort.
Well, Whiskey Advocate reached out, and we kind of did a thing, and so that just kind of went with Malort. Yeah,
I'm excited to see this.
Yeah,
Buffalo Trace really wanted to sponsor me, but then they realized we only have 100 subscribers.
But they're all important.
Yes.
Sorry,
I don't mean only to the 100, but compared to those that have 200.
It might be, honest to God, it might be a
Donald.
Scotch for me.
Oh, I take that back. There is one that I wish I would have got a backup to.
Yeah.
That OESO Four Roses single barrel from Amon.
Oh, God almighty.
Dude, I wish I had double of any Four Roses I had.
I wish I would have bought the second bottle of this one when I saw it.
Clona Kilty? Irish.
What's the proof on that,
Proof
Brian?
on that.
What's that?
What's a proof on that? Like 84? What is it?
Shit.
Put your glasses on. There
No,
you
I
go.
need
Get
light.
the light on there.
It's 46%. I think. Yeah, 46.
Slapshot, I think I know where there's one of those. I'll get it.
It's 40. What did you say?
Back.
It was
I'm going to be
46? I thought it was 92 proof.
46%.
You nailed it.
Oh,
Yeah, well, this one's the DC, like the DC rugby team picked it.
Oh, it's a pick. Oh,
Yeah.
Never mind. Never mind.
It's the only Clonakilty I've ever had, but it's fucking delicious.
So, Anthony, what's your last few bottles of Scotch you've bought that you've been crazy about?
Well, I just cracked on Deathless Dog stream this week.
Thanks, Richie.
I've had it for a little bit. I just didn't open it. I haven't reviewed it yet, but I cracked it on his stream. Was
Thanks, Richie.
the Glenlivet right here.
Yeah.
Madura. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm
What's the finish on that one, Anthony?
it's finished in heavily peated Scotch barrels.
I got that one. It's a freaking winner. A lot of guys shit on the Glenlivet in the Scotch community.
This is the 2015.
Dude,
ooh.
Curiosity Public last year did a thing where they did like all the 12s and the 15s.
Yeah, they did.
And the
Glenlivet
12s
won them all.
Yeah. And the 15s won, I think. Like Glenlivet, it's pretty good for a good price. It's not super expensive.
And then the next one, Marty.
Oh, man, that Encompass box. Yeah, I saw you talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I did my blended whiskey talk.
Yep.
And this thing is really good. Now that it's had a chance to breathe a little bit in the bottle. Wow. And Donald, I saw the 12.3 in the Octomore this week. Yeah,
How
the
much,
price
Anthony?
was insane.
Yeah. You're better off buying them overseas and paying the shipping.
Oh, now you are, but I mean, it was insane. But I actually had it in my hand.
Oh,
Personally, I wish I would have got a cigar blend backup, but whatever.
Mark.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I can get you one, Mike. $400 plus Maryland tax. I think it's 9%.
90%.
I'm not sure what batch it is.
9.
Oh, 9. I might be down with that actually, Rob. I'll let you know.
Hey,
But
Steve.
Marty
I
actually
might have
was
a
the one that
picture of
got
it,
me
Mike.
he got me the one cigar blend I do have, and it is delicious. I think Adriana drank half a bottle when she was here.
I'm not sure what batch it is, Mike. Next time I'll be in Maryland somewhere around the 11th or 12th. If it's still there, I'll take a picture and send it. Wait a minute. I don't have your number.
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I'll take care of that.
Text Marty. Marty will give it to you.
I'll
Marty
put it in
a
will
private
send you my
chat.
contact info.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's $3.99, I believe, Maryland, and I don't know what batch it is because I'm not paying $400.
Treadword has 4 Stag Junior backups. Smart.
They've also got a
The junior, yeah.
they got an old Carter batch 1 distributed to DC down there for $500 if anybody's interested.
I can get a bourbon batch 4, a rye batch, Old Carter rye batch 3, an Old Carter bourbon or American batch 4 for $350.
That's not horrible.
No.
It's not terrible for those older batches. I'm gonna be Friday. Thursday. I'll be dropping by. No, it'll probably be Friday. I'll drop by a keg and bottle, but not the big one. It's a smaller one that's owned by the brother, and he's super cool dude. And my wife, she'll talk him down.
Hey, Anthony, I did pick up my first Carchus Warehouse 1 last week.
Oh, I was just going to say, the other one that I got is that Lefroy. And I tell you what, give it a little more time in the bottle, a week or so. Wow.
Oh, shit, I love the damn neck.
I loved it right
can't
out of the
wait.
bottle.
I can't wait. You're right.
The first pour was fine. It was really good. And
I'm
I
looking
just
forward
had
to that.
Which B. Bauer
just
is
had
talking
some
about
about a
an
week
Old
ago.
Carter LA. I don't know what Old Carter LA is.
Louisiana.
It's what we're
Louisiana.
yeah, it's a Louisiana release.
Friday at Fred's have it. They picked it up last week. Doug picked it up.
Dude, we don't
It is
have Old
crazy
Carter
good,
in Colorado,
Jacob.
so when I find it, I usually pay a little bit more than MSRP.
Hey, Mike, I called a couple stores in Chattanooga, Tennessee today, and they're supposed to get it on Tuesday, and they said it'd be $2.99, but he didn't know what it was.
Yeah, that's not a terrible price for it. It's,
Yeah, just be
it's not
careful.
a great price.
Just
but
got to be careful what it is.
yeah.
I'm not paying $2.99 for the rye. I'd pay, I don't know, $2.50.
I'm kind of over the Americans. I'm not gonna lie. Like I like the Americans, but they're overall the American whiskeys. I think I'm kind of falling out of love with across
Rob
the
is
board.
too.
Yeah, that's why I'm
We
into
can't find-
Japanese.
we don't
chicks
ha- we
now.
don't own
wait a minute.
any.
Were we talking about whiskey? What? Dude, wait, what?
The
Yeah,
light,
yeah.
the light, anything that's kind of that light corn whiskey. I'm kind of not like. I just don't think it's worth the extra money.
No, yeah, $80, $90. It's aged well. It's put together
All
well.
day.
I'm all in. Not at 300.
Yeah, not at 300 for an American. I don't think there's enough difference between them. What's
I
up,
agree
Bourbon
with you.
Wrench? Look at
Have
that.
any
got-
of you all tried the Unforgotten yet, Master's Keep?
No, I
No.
haven't seen it yet.
She's
No.
good.
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's really
It's
good. I
good.
haven't seen it yet though.
It's good at retail. I wouldn't get carried away.
No, you're right.
Retail's what? 185.
200.
Yeah, call it $200.
I would do
You
it
got
for
paid.
200 with the
Yeah,
packaging. you
I'd
get
pay
with it.
$250, maybe even $275 to back it up. I wouldn't go more than that.
I just want to know if he got 4 Calumet 16s at a great price. What's
Who?
the great price per bottle?
What's a
Because
great
Calumet
price?
16, it's 120. Don't pay more than that. And I'm gonna say, go get
I'm gonna say
yourself
because
a-
they're like 139 or 149 here, and
that's way too much for that.
I had it. I like my 15 that I paid $89 for.
I'd say go get yourself a foolproof 1792 and forget about it.
I was just drinking a
I need to
sweet
drink
wheat.
more 1792.
I was drinking a
enough.
1792 sweet wheat a couple days ago. Was hand delivered.
What'd you think?
I like it. I mean, it's not complex. It's not going to blow your socks off. It's just a good, consistent flavor. It's a good sipper.
I think it's
Um,
overpriced, in my opinion.
I don't know. I got mine at a good price, right, Mike?
Which one?
Free?
Yeah, you got yours
My
at a
sweet
good
wheat.
price.
That's right.
Good.
I got it at a good price. I like it. You know, it's like I said, I don't think it's gonna knock your socks off by any means, but I think it's just got a good flavor. It's easy. It's a good pour to sit down and just contemplate your navel. You know, just sit there and sip away. Well, yeah, a lot of people love to have a backup of old Dragon Bones, but you know, the company that produced it only produced so many, and then that was it. And so you're just shit out of luck. Shit out of luck. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you can find
I
it.
picked up the new Remus. I like it a lot. It's not the 5, but
No.
it's very good.
I haven't seen a 6 yet. I wouldn't mind getting a 6 just to.
Redbreast 15 goes with a
Oh, it's
lot of
on your
stuff,
buddy's
really.
site there, Mike. Except it's $200 keg
Yeah.
and barrel with a Remus.
Oh,
Remember
keg and
last
bottle?
year the Remus or keg and bottle? Yeah, the Remus 5. I should have pulled the trigger on that last year. $150 on keg and bottle Remus 5 with a standard Remus for 150, 159. Now it's 200.
You know what, Bourbon Brigade?
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, I
know
agree
people.
with Bourbon Brigade. I agree with that.
Yeah. People that like the Evan Williams profile, that single barrel, everyone says it's amazing. It's just not out here. But I haven't heard anyone say nothing about that.
little foolproof coming at you.
Hey,
there,
and Bourbon
Buckshot.
Brigade, if you're
Yeah,
looking,
it's a Virginia pick. I never see it. All I ever see is the regular small batch.
That's awesome, dude.
So
Oh, yeah.
regret is not buying 2 of these.
Yep.
Hey,
We
Anthony,
all
can
have
you,
those
yeah.
stories.
Anthony, can you hold up the new Smoke Wagon Christmas bottle? Those
Yes.
look pretty cool.
Yes, I can
So
hold it up.
Bill Monteith wants to know, what is FOMO now?
That's pretty.
for me,
FOMO is fear of missing out. What bottles have you bought, Bill, or have you bought because you felt like you were going to miss
Well,
out?
I see
if
the
you didn't?
ancient age back there. Cool.
Yes.
Killer.
Yes, I have an ancient age back there. Yes,
damn
I
right.
do.
my
Awesome.
man.
That
In
was
the Liberty safe.
that was a hand delivery too.
The Liberty safe?
Both the ancient
Oh.
age and the Liberty safe. Yes.
Oh, good.
Yep. That was a hand delivery also, without a doubt.
Hey, Anthony, is that Alberta Premium back there?
It is too.
God,
Cast strength.
God,
I
load
haven't
it up.
opened it yet.
Marty, do you not
Marty,
have an
you're
Alberta
pretty good
Premium
with them
yet?
eyeballs there for just crawling out of bed a half hour ago.
Damn, I'm telling you, I'm ready.
They were in a private love room.
Hey, they're grown adults now.
Nice Glen, Mike.
Isn't it, Marty?
It is. That's as damn as tacky as it gets right there. I gotta get slap shot that.
Hey, it don't get much sexier than that.
Damn
does it?
hell, sexier than a tomcat and wool socks. I'll tell you that right now.
There you go.
You're whatever you got in front of you if you're trying to get whatever you got.
Wait,
You
speaking
damn
of
right.
nice Glens,
Oh yeah, check this out.
Hold on. Well,
Oh,
look
nice.
at this.
Yeah, it looks better when your face is not in the
Yeah.
picture. That's for damn
MC
sure.
squared
Everything looks
whiskey.
better, he'll
What
tell you,
the
when his face
fuck?
isn't in the picture.
How come Livewire
MC
doesn't have one of
squared
those?
whiskey. Look at
Those
that.
are the first prototypes right there. Rob's got.
that's right.
They're coming.
Compass box, I love. I have not been disappointed. Some are, they're good. Others are a notch above. The Orchard House for $53, $55 for it's a blended, but I tell you what, it is a fruit bomb right on the nose and on the palate. I like it. And then let it open up a little bit. Wow. They are really, really good. Really good. Now all of a sudden my chat just exploded with 20 others. I didn't think I was that far down.
Oh my god, chat is such a pain. when
What
you're
is going on?
responding.
Why is it taking?
Come on, chat. Keep it down now.
I'm telling you what. I mean, it just did. Oh, OH. Cheers, man. Good to see you. Those of you that are just popping in anew, remember, smash that like button and hit the subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah,
70, awesome, man.
Wow, Marty.
man, I don't know what's going. Why this chat? I mean,
I
all of a
got you,
sudden
Mike.
there was nothing, and then all of a sudden there's
Glenn,
20.
but not me.
I got you, dude. Don't just chill out.
No, my feelings are hurt now.
Well, Jack.
Nope.
I wasn't
Pull your
frozen
big-
there. I just wanted to
Pull your
pretend.
pull your big girl panties up and take a breath.
Yeah, that's always a
What
disappointment.
happened? Why is Mike mad? I missed it. What happened?
It's your fault, Rob. That's what Marty just texted me.
Mike, I'm used to taking the blame, buddy. I can fix it. Let's talk about it. It'll be okay.
Marty's pregnant.
Don't.
It ain't mine. He told me he was on the pill.
Do you see?
And it was 21.
Do you see Rob's background back there? MC squared for Tuesday night. We're gonna really make fools out of ourselves right there.
Oh yeah, you want to see the dumbest whiskey channel on
By the
YouTube,
way,
guys?
Tuesday
Come over
is
to
Adam's
MC Squared
birthday.
Whiskey. Visit me and Marty.
Yep, we're gonna do Irish whiskey Tuesday with 4-leaf whiskey.
I'll try not to say barrel char 17 times in one video.
CCH is my favorite whiskey tuber.
No, it'll be live. This is actually live.
No, she's my favorite whiskey tuber.
Shame on you, Mike.
No, Stacy H is my favorite.
I don't have any arguments there.
She ain't here. You ain't got to kiss her ass.
I'm
Or is
not.
she?
She is
Sorry,
my favorite.
Stacy.
I like her better than y'all and y'all.
Oh,
and
I don't
me.
blame you one bit. I mean, I wasn't looking for recognition. I don't blame you one bit.
She puts out content. We don't do that shit. Kidding. But you're the
All right.
best looking whiskey tuber, Rob.
Your ass is itchy too, Stall. All right. Good God, I got a lot of glass. I gotta go to work in the morning. What time is it? Oh,
You're muted, Anthony.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, no, I pulled the wire out from the bottom of the mic. I didn't know it when I set my hand down.
That'll do it.
I'm like, muted. Yeah, that'll do it. Lord love it, Duck. Nothing like
Is
live
that lore?
whiskey.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, some people. I'm not spending $170 on the bottle. It's not worth it.
Anthony, I'm gonna
Is that
text
what
you
we're
right
drinking
now.
Rob?
Yeah, that's what I'm drinking. But I'm gonna text you right now, Anthony. You can share it with everybody here. I just don't want to say it out loud.
I understand.
I saw one of those a couple months ago.
Yeah, they've jumped up to 170, 179 bucks a bottle.
Yeah, it was 170, and I said, I don't think so.
No.
No.
Under
Stahl's got it,
100.
Rob. Hey, Rob, look.
Oh yeah.
Thanks,
Mhm.
Richie.
It's so good.
That's a nice green bottle there, Mike.
It's not the
It has a
color of
great-
the bottle; it's the size.
It has a great flavor, doesn't it, Mike? Sweet,
I can smell
salty.
this already.
sweet, salty, with a hint of smoke.
Something wrong. Your bottle didn't go down there, Mike.
It's got
He has to get that. I was going to say it's that.
it's got a oatmeal cookie.
There you go.
sweet- It's so good.
So good. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna go to bed right now, but I saw the lore and I'm like, I want some.
It happens
Yes,
that
it
way.
is, Richie Z.
Did your hands grow or something, Mike? God almighty, big old hands.
Hey, Scott. Cheers.
The bigger the hands, the bigger the item in the hand. Look,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
They
Hey,
got
guys,
got
make sure you-
fatter, Marty. Thanks for pointing that out.
No, that's not what I meant. Everybody hit that thumbs up, guys.
That's right.
Marty, I need to send you a Christmas shirt still, buddy. I need to make sure I have your size. So text me.
3X. In case I fart
Medium.
and don't blow my shoes off.
Oh,
Medium, I got you, buddy.
Well, I'll turn that into a tank top.
I might order that right now, actually, just so I don't forget.
so good.
Dude, lore is so good. Like I love Lafroig. I don't know why people don't like it.
Well, it's like anything on that, particularly that level of peated medicinal type Scotch. You're either going to like it, or you're not. That's just what.
For
it
the
comes
record,
down to.
I have never seen lore for $65.
no.
You haven't looked in the right spot. Apparently,
She's on sale.
she's on
Uh,
sale.
If you want to email me that link, that'd be great.
Yeah, the only Lafroig I've had is Lafroig 10.
I paid $160 for mine. Yeah,
Well, I'm not fond of Whistle Pig, Jack. Never was, except for I think it's the 18 I had.
Yeah. I agree
Now
with
I
that
never.
that
was
120
never
for
a
Whistle
fan of
Pig. I
Whistle
don't know
Pig.
what you bought. Even the 6-year isn't $20.
yeah, I don't know where he got that, but I mean, if you got a Whistle Pig for $20, you're good.
God.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. I just don't like a Whistle Pig in general, other than that 18. And I was like, I couldn't believe it was Whistle Pig until they showed me the bottle. I'm like,
I had a taste of the 6. It was awful.
yeah,
Marty, text me your new address real quick.
yeah, it wasn't anything
Scott,
to
me
write
too.
home about. That's for sure.
Man,
Well,
that
since-
lore
Circles
has
big in
like
their
this
hand, baby.
sweet,
Well, since-
briny peat.
Well, since you guys brought Scotch out, you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going.
Am I right, Rob? Like you're getting like a
Oh.
sweet, briny.
I get oatmeal after the smoke, after the brine. I get oatmeal cookie.
Yeah, I get like a sweet cookiness.
Yep. And again, so Brian, you've had the Lafroig 10. The Lafroig 10 punches you in the face with iodine and Band-Aid. And
Yeah, I've had the 10. I love
all
it.
that stuff. And that was my first. Lafroig 10 was my first peated Scotch that I
Okay.
had ever had, and had put it in the glass. It took me probably about 10 minutes to freaking fall in love with peated Scotch. This lore it has its shortfalls to it,
I'm going to grab the cartridge.
but overall it is well rounded at what 90 96. I don't have my glasses on, I can't see. I think that says
Yep,
For which
98.
one?
Yeah.
Yep.
It also has some citrus notes on the nose, but overall, it doesn't
See,
take long.
Jackson, what's shaking, bro?
It doesn't take long to cut through the smoke on the nose on this and get some really good. This is very well put together. And again, it's on sale, boys. Hey, Jack.
You're not going to talk? You're just going to smile at us?
I'm gonna smile at you. No, what's up, everyone?
Oh, good. Just making sure. Like, is this audio working?
My audio's working. Here's Brian, Mike, Anthony.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers.
Dude, that guy is incredible. He and I had Buffalo Wild Wings a couple weeks ago.
Well, those were great burgers for Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, we had burgers at Buffalo Wild Wings, but yeah.
I just hope he forgave me for not sending the bottle he won on Whiskey Wars. I never saw the damn email. And 6 months later, I find the email, and I'm like, holy shit, I totally missed this email. But
Hey, what's up, JD?
you did get your bottle, right, buddy?
All right. That was good. That Lefroy is fire.
I'm
So
telling you,
Anthony, so yeah, you were saying that it was like 170, and then Rob said he sent you an email. But if you go on Wine Searcher, there's multiple places that are way below 170, like 125 all the way down to 109.
I found it cheaper than that.
Yeah.
the only
Share
place-
that. Do you want me to send the link? I could send the. I could put the link in chat. I guess.
So, 'cause
Go
the
ahead.
only
I
one-
don't care.
The only other place I found it
Yeah,
that
go
said
ahead.
it was cheaper, but they didn't say anything about anything in here in California, which was I can't remember the name of it.
Well, again, if you can get it in the States, you're going to save shipping, but there's an awesome deal on it right now overseas.
Okay, is it WE?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, this
'Cause-
Lefroy has just got that sweet.
Which one is it, Anthony?
Wow. This is I'm right now. I poured the 10. I know Marty went and got the cartridge. I know that. Yep, I knew you had the 10. I know some
So-
are drinking lore.
So the FOMO story, Anthony. I
Go
know
ahead.
that was your son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch, Rob. I'm not even going to talk to you right now.
Ooh. Sorry, lighting's bad. It's batch 9.
And it's not even open.
Kentucky
knows?
Owl.
It's not.
Everybody loves confiscated, Rob.
Hey, I like confiscated if I could find it for $85.
Holy.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
ridiculous.
baby. Pete.
Hey,
Cheers, Ken.
is Ken going live tonight?
Tomorrow morning.
Tonight, today.
Well,
It's
tonight
Ken.
for him, tomorrow for us.
Yesterday, today, every day.
Ken, are you going live tonight for you? Let us know.
Yeah, I'm going to have to bail, though. I've been drinking for 5 hours.
Yep,
Sissy.
it happens.
I friggin' hate Marty.
I know it.
I don't know why I love Marty.
Shit. Everybody loves a fat guy.
It's
Hate me.
Marty, you're
Everybody
Hey,
different.
I'm right there with you, buddy.
You're going to be like in a really big line. So just hate me. It's easy.
Yep, he's
Yeah,
going.
okay. I just hate
Titanic.
Rob. Marty, you're the best.
Love you,
Right.
buddy.
Fuck you,
Now there's
Rob.
one hater of Rob and like 100 haters of Marty. Minus one
Right.
is 99. Let's talk about
Night,
Nashville
Mike.
now.
You can talk about Nashville all day long. Freaking.
All right, I'm bailing.
I was the FOMO
Anthony?
king.
I freaking love you. I think you're a superstar of Whiskey Tube, just so you know.
Got it.
I just want to look see if somebody was standing behind me.
No,
I say,
Anthony.
but you're not his favorite whiskey channel. We already know that's somebody else.
Right. That's Stacy
That's me.
H.
That's Stacey H.
Anthony is a close number 2 behind
I'm a number 2. Do you see that?
Stacey H.
Who does
Oh,
number
I
two
got it.
work
Right.
for?
I got the inference.
Yeah. I say, but
All right,
Mike's the king of.
I put that lore in the
number
private
twos.
chat if you guys are interested. Just
Oh,
don't
okay.
forget.
That's where it's at.
Buy a little more and get your money's worth on shipping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at on the whiskey exchange was freaking. The shipping's like outrageous, but okay.
Oh yeah.
It's still around 100, 110 bucks even with shipping.
Yeah, but $110. I mean, if you're gonna go ahead and, I mean, if I'm gonna order something from overseas like that, I'm gonna order more than one thing.
Yeah, get a couple things.
You know, something crazy like
I
don't
put
know.
it in chat itself, Rob.
Oh no.
That's what I was trying to avoid, you popular son of a bitch. Now we're not going to be able to get it if we want to go back in 2 months.
Look, I got it. I got to spread the love.
Yeah, it's a channel for the people. I get it. Okay, I'm sorry. I was out of line and I apologize.
What can I say? If somebody
Cheers, Greg.
can get lore for under a C note, hey,
It's so good if you've never had it.
And this is where you ordered yours from?
Yes.
cheers, Greg. Thanks for popping on, man. But lore is great. I mean, I don't think there's a really a bad Lefroy, but you know, the price of it here, if you just walk into a store, like I said, 170, 180 bucks a bottle.
That's
kidding?
too much for it.
It is too much. When it was 129, I thought it was like, oh yeah, that's too much. You know,
Yeah,
and then when
that's pushing it.
yeah.
Do you see the Lefroy 16s out there at all, Anthony?
I haven't seen the 16, but there is a 25.
Well, that's going to be a little different in price. But
Yeah, that's more
I
than
picked
a little
up the
bit.
Lefroy 16 for 89 bucks the other day.
What?
It is very I love it. It's rounded. It does not have the bite of the 10 or bite might not be the right way to explain it.
It's
but
more
it is
mellow.
very well rounded. Some of the guys that review Scotch whiskey, it's not one of their favorites, but at 89 bucks,
Yeah, exactly. For a 16-year-old,
it's very good. I like
Well,
it a lot.
Lagavulin 16 is over 100 now.
It's
where it was
114 bucks here. It was on sale for a little while at 107. And
On
I got
sale?
it. I got Lagavulin 16 in West Virginia for 89.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it a lot.
that
but
you can ask
I'm
Ken.
not willing to
Ask
pay
me,
more
will
than
tell you that is a delicious drop. Delicious drop. Now I know Christian, he doesn't have any Lagavulin, but you know, one day he'll make that transition.
Into Scotch, yeah.
Yeah, one day.
Shane's back.
Oh yeah.
Hey, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
it's empty. That's not good.
Yeah.
Fill it.
That's not good.
You shouldn't let the dogs
What are you
get
gonna
it.
fill
Rob,
it with, Shane? What's
Rob,
it
show
gonna be?
Shane what you picked up behind you.
With what?
The Kentucky.
The lore?
Ale. No, the
Oh,
Kentucky.
he knows. He saw the picture.
Ale. Oh, okay.
Oh, the Batch 9 you got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
Good for you, man. It's a good bottle. Probably one of the best bottles
I bought it on your recommendation.
It's a good one. We
Hey,
we
Log
smashed
16 for 80.
3/4 of
Jacob
one.
is good.
That's the one we tasted when we was at your house, right, Shane? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That was Friday night smash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was good stuff.
yeah. We literally drank 3/4 of it in one run.
Thanks for doing that, Shane.
Oh man, no problem. Thanks for being there.
Okay, that's the counter.
It's
Yeah.
the encore. I got the new one downstairs. I haven't cracked it yet.
No, I hadn't either.
So I
That's
saw
the
the
other,
midwinters in Maryland. The cheapest I saw it was $300 a bottle.
Golly.
It's stupid, ridiculous in price. And Greg doesn't have a channel, B-Bauer.
Well, we can start him one.
Yeah, he does. It's everybody else's.
Peer pressure's a bitch.
Yeah. If you want to know a
Oh,
little bit
Steve.
about Greg, just hang.
Steve, thanks
You'll
for
see.
subbing, buddy. Thank you, Steve.
There you go. Friday at Fred's. See,
Good
people
pour,
drink
man.
that shit, Shane.
It's good
Yeah.
stuff, buddy.
And see, the best thing about
All right,
Friday at
Jacob.
Fred's was drinking it with
I'll
Friday
talk
at
to you,
Fred's.
man.
That's right.
Jake,
On
see you,
Friday.
buddy.
With Fred.
Yep,
See you
it's Fred and
Friday.
Doug there.
Yeah, they're pretty proud of the bottle. I mean, they posed on there. I thought I liked it. I thought that was a
Hey,
good-
they actually found the Louisiana Old Carter too last week, which is good.
Yeah, that batch. You know how they got that?
No,
He tell you how he got it?
no.
So they took that
Hey,
their
that's the way
Friday
to
Fred's
do it.
bottle to that liquor store and shared it with that guy
Yeah.
that owns it. And he's like, he was like, yeah, that's the best cognac finish I've ever had, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, are you interested in this Old Carter that I've got?
No kidding.
Are you interested? Yeah,
Yes.
Not
yes.
at all.
I'm interested.
I wonder if
Yes.
they played dumb. Like, what's that?
What's Old Carter?
Is that good? Yeah, is that good? Is it worthwhile? Without a doubt. But yeah, once you get get the taste for Lafroig, I just like the way the finish is. I mean, it's good. It comes back. I like the way you can still chew on it, like Brian's doing. Mm-hmm. You still chew on it.
It's good.
Even the carches, you could still chew on it afterwards, like an Ardbeg. It's got that thick. Well, I think Ardbeg is a thicker smoke than Lafroig. Lafroig is more
Yeah,
medicinal.
the only Ardbeg I've had is the Wee Beastie.
Just be careful with those Ardbegs. Ardbeg, the Corey Vrecken, the Oogie.
Yep.
Those
Oogadale
those
is
are
awesome.
those are all buys. Be careful. Unfortunately, I spent a shit ton of money on committee bottles that really aren't that much better than their standard offering. So be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying some of the older ones. Yeah, but unfortunately, they're out of reach for my budget.
25-year-old Ardbeg, please. Yeah.
Hey, I took a run, what was it, last week before, down into Maryland, and I decided to go a little bit further into Hancock and then down into Hagerstown. I went into this, it was basically a house that had a gas station, but the gas station must have went defunct. And there was Jim Beam White Label. They had some, just the run-of-the-mill old number 7 and all that stuff. And I happened to look up on the shelf. There was a 31-year-old Lafroig sitting there. And I thought, I'm just going to go ahead and ask how much that is. Maybe they don't know what it is. But apparently they did. It was like $1,200. But
And he bought it.
Oh no, I didn't. But I felt my spidey senses rise, thinking, this son of a bitch says $250. Bingo!
Oh,
Yes.
if she'd have told you 300, you'd have yelled bingo.
But well, absolutely. If she'd have told me 600, I'd have yelled bingo. But here's the thing: it just goes to show you where whiskey is now. Marty and I had a conversation earlier while we were watching Law and Order in bed. No, sorry.
Together.
Law and Order.
Anyway,
Great British Bake Off.
Anyway, we had a
Those aren't
conversation
pillows.
about a year from now. We're seeing what we're seeing with whiskey prices. We don't all walk into gas stations or into places and hit the lottery anymore. How much are we going to spend a year from now on these bottles that we're already feel that we're overpaying for?
Wow.
Do you think we're going to be doing it? I know, Anthony, you do a real good job at not overpaying. Me, not so much. I'm better than I was, but what are we going to do a year from now if it keeps going the way it's going?
You got to
Well,
break
what do you
yourself of
think,
that
Stanley?
FOMO.
The truth is that freaking because of these places like Wilderness Trail getting bought up and stuff like that, it's gonna change the general landscape of things, because those smaller distilleries that were putting out good products to compete against the big boys are now part of the big boys. So now that changed, so that now the Wilderness Trail is going to start getting a little bit more expensive. And these smaller distilleries, these Andalusias, these freaking ASWs and stuff like that are going to start putting out, they're getting to that 6-year, 7-year, 8-year point of their stuff. It's going to start getting better. And you'll be able to still get bottles for a decent price, like we have been doing lately, which is everybody telling everybody, you ain't got to spend $150 on a bottle. You can go get a $50 bottle that's just damn near as good. And I think
that
that
is.
the more and more of these little tiny distilleries like freaking Westland and stuff like that are starting to get into their 6 or 7 years are going to be, and then you got, like Shane's doing with Story Time with the crooners and stuff like that. You're going to have a whole bunch of these smaller St. Cloud and stuff like that are going to start putting out a little bit cheaper. Now that they're starting to get more product, their bottle prices will come down slightly, and people will want to go out and buy the St. Clouds. They're going to want to buy those Uncle Nearest now that Uncle Nearest is going and doing ryes and stuff like that, instead of spending this $100-something, because they're good ass freaking whiskeys.
Yeah, but on the other side of that too is the Scotch side. Scotch has always been here for probably the last 4 or 5 years, pretty reasonable when you find it. But now the Scotch craze is starting to kick in a little bit more. So I think you're going to see the Scotch prices elevate like we're seeing right now with some of this stuff. Like a year ago, like this Carchus was around quite a bit at under $100. I got lucky and got this one for $89 out the door, but most sites and everything else, they're $120 plus. So I think Scotches are going to really start to elevate in price also.
It's already happening here. Port
over.
Charlotte 10 up $10.
Talisker 10 up 15.
Yeah, Talisker's up $5 or $6 here, and
But here-
Pennsylvania.
But
sucks.
here's the thing, though, right? If you think about it, okay, some of these scotches that we're talking about 3 years ago were the price they are now. They went down in price and just came back up to where they were. They haven't increased past their prices of 3 or 4 years ago. And then you got these other
Yes, Bill.
still, you got these other Scotch distilleries that are now coming out with their own products that were just feeding into the Johnny Walkers and these other blends like Tamavolan, Ardmore, and some of these other ones that were just feeding into these others with only a couple of their own expressions, coming out with cheaper bottles of the stuff they're literally selling it to freaking Johnny Walker, selling to all these high-end freaking blends.
I can literally buy all the Scotch that I'm interested in with shipping costs included from the UK. Yes, you're getting 2 ounces less in that
50,
7 bottle.
two freaking shots. You're getting 2 shots
Right.
less. 2 shot bottles.
I'll
less.
give you a good example. The latest batch of what's it called, Marty? You're looking for it. Highland Park cast strength.
Yeah, cast 3.
Is $90 here. It is $50 on the Whiskey World, maybe $60.
Well, I'm looking right now at a Ben Romick 15, which here in the States runs close to like $90 to $95. It's $60.
Yeah. Stanley, I can get that for you for $60, no shipping.
Okay, well, I'll
that's
have to
Maryland.
figure out that. Well, they got a Bowmore.
I don't have your phone number.
Right. They got a Bowmore 15-year-old with a 2-glass gift set for Christmas for $55.
What's the year?
15. You can't touch a 15-year Bowmore out here for less than like almost $100.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
All right, Bourbon Brigade. Cheers, man.
Cheers, brother.
Totally get you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I think I've gotten pretty close to being over the FOMO because I know what this is. That was this stream supposed to be about. I think that I have had it in the past, and my last FOMO was for Old Dragon Bones, and I finally got it. So, so that was my last FOMO bottle that I was willing to. I paid pay a pretty penny for or whatever. I kind of told myself that if it's over $100, it better be a goddamn good bottle. Right now I can get Sagamore's. I love freaking Sagamore rye. So I can get Sagamore's all day long for 75 or less. And they're all freaking killer.
Have you had the PX, Stanley?
No, I have not had the sherry yet. It's $75 here. And I just haven't picked it up yet.
I'm anxious to know if it's good.
From what I've been told, it's literally freaking one of the best sherry ryes that most people have tasted. Everybody's saying it's freaking good. Amazing.
But
the rum finish is pretty good. I got that Manhattan finish in the Cavaldos, and damn, those are freaking. I don't like that Cavaldos finish normally, but damn, that for some reason just works with freaking that Sagamore. But yeah, so and then the Wilderness Trail, they've always got a good product too, but it's starting to get more and more expensive. I can't,
it's very expensive.
Those cast strength gray label bottles of Wilderness Trail out here are almost $100. 6 months ago, they were $60.
So, I mean, that's my point. And now, I mean, again, looking to the future, where do we go?
Wild Turkey 101, baby.
There you go.
I like me some Wild Turkey 101.
I wish I could find it for what Anthony found it for.
I was just going to say.
That's the craziest thing too. Is that's something else I've noticed is that Wild Turkey products
$10.
Right, 101, 101 rye,
baby.
101, 101 rye still
Hobo
hasn't really
bottle.
gone up in price. Out here in California, Rare Breed, both of them have gone down in price. Now I can get a Rare Breed right now at a Costco for $45. A Rare Breed rye. Regular Rare Breed's like $32.
God almighty.
When they have it at Costco. But if I go to a normal liquor store, Rare Breed standard, Rare Breed bourbon is $39, and Rare Breed rye used to be $55. Now it's like $43 or $44.
Yeah, that's still dirt cheap.
That's still cheap because Rare Breed and the rye is right around 62, 65 here, and regular Rare Breed's between 45 and 50.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of one of those things where I wish I had a credit card that had like, I don't know, a few $1,000s on it that I could just go buy like all the freaking Rare Breed rye at freaking Costco and then just sell, get people what they need, what they want for freaking.
Hey, Stanley, here in Pittsburgh, when Blanton's hits, you can buy it out of a trunk of a car in the liquor store parking lot for $150.
There you go. There you go.
I've seen it with my own eyes. The guys wait in these liquor stores to see the guys looking around, and they'll be like,
"Hey, you know what? You know what Blanton's for me? You know what it does for me? It gives me every time that I win a bottle. I bought one bottle. I have 3. The other 2 I've won. That means that 2 people at Christmas will get Blanton's bottles because I opened the one
Hey,
so I
listen,
drink off that. The other two will freaking be Christmas gifts. I wish I'd get a box. I wish I'd get a box of the freaking 50 milliliters, because then those would just be everybody's freaking stocking stuffers.
listen. Blanton's is decent whiskey. It's $60, $65, whatever it is in your market.
Yep.
Here, you got guys knocking people down to get out to that
Exactly, Richie.
to that trunk to pay $150 for it. I thought a year ago or 2 years ago when I first got into this, and I never paid $150 for a bottles of Blanton's, but I have paid more for other things that I shouldn't have, and I'm ashamed of it. But
And I'm ashamed.
how? Oh, I'm very ashamed. But I'll tell you the truth. It makes me want to take the Blantons and the Eagle Rares and all the shit I have and go out and open my trunk in a fucking parking lot and take advantage of it. I'm
See,
not
here's
Yeah,
doing
but the
it.
thing about that, none of those bottles fell off the truck.
No, these
Yeah.
guys walked into the store and they
Buy
had
'em.
their team of 10 or 20 all around when they knew it was hitting and bought their 2 bottles
Mhm.
and then congregated down in the waterfront in Homestead because they know that's where the place they're not going to get caught, and they do it.
Yeah, for
It-
twice what they paid for it. Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me. It's decent whiskey, not $150 whiskey.
Yeah.
But why? I guess I know why. Those guys are doing it because that's the thing with Pennsylvania is that these guys, because I've had an opportunity to talk to some managers in the stores and things like that, and I asked questions. So I said, how do these guys know when to get in line if E.H. Taylor single barrel's hitting or Midwinters is hitting or something like that? How do they know? Because it's not advertised, so obviously somebody in the warehouse is telling them when it's coming.
Imagine that, huh?
Okay, so I know here in California, the easiest way to find out what's coming in is that you go and you talk to the owners of the stores, and you just find out, hey, by the way, I know you're getting, normally like shipping when people get drops and stuff, they're like on Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, and they'll literally tell you, well, Young's comes by on this day. They got like 3 or 4 different distributors. They come on these days and everything else. And then you're sitting here talking to them, and maybe you drop off a couple samples. After going in a few times, they'll damn near tell you what time of day they drop, what their Buffalo Trace comes in on, what their freaking whatever comes in on, and you can just plan
Yep.
to
But
be there
here's
on that
here's
day.
the thing, Stanley. Pennsylvania is state controlled,
Yeah.
Well, then they put it on a website.
but no,
Not that one.
not this one.
Yeah.
These guys know when
It's
to
same
get
as
in line.
Virginia. There's somebody fucking telling somebody because
Yeah,
when the email
absolutely.
drops,
And-
there's already 20 people standing in fucking line.
And Brian, that guy in Virginia, got popped. for
It's
doing
still
that.
happening because when the email drops, there's still 20 people in fucking line. So somebody else is taking his spot.
Mhm.
So I know that also out here that anybody that owns a liquor store, anybody that has, they go onto the suppliers' websites, the distributors' websites, and they can see barrels, and they can see barrels of stuff that's sitting there for distribution. Everything else when they're sitting in a warehouse, they can actually. It's been happening, especially with barrels. They can cock block somebody out of barrels because that guy hasn't paid for it yet. And so therefore, boom, they go in and they buy a whole barrel, and then they got a barrel pick they put their name on that they never even touched. And so when that stuff like that happens, all they do is they leak it out to 1-2 people, and everybody knows. It's just like if right now we
Like
all
striking a match.
yeah. If right now, if I was to talk to my friends in freaking Vegas and they told me that, hey, by the way, liquor lineup's dropping this on this day, the first thing I'm going to do is send a freaking feeler out to Anthony saying, hey, oh, by the way, if you haven't heard, this is happening on this day. And then boom, Anthony's either there or his wife's there or somebody he knows is there, standing there waiting to get it already. Out here, it's if Vic if Vic or the Fancies or somebody else finds something, if they're as soon as they get a chance to contact somebody else, they say, "Here, we just walked into Costco. We noticed that there's a pallet of this up on the freaking fourth level. We asked, that's supposed to be a drop next week." So we already know before the drop on Wednesday at Costco that there's a pallet of freaking whatever in a certain Costco somewhere, because the dumbasses don't cover it up. You can see it. It's just sitting there, but they only drop them on certain days. So I do that once a month. I go through all the Costcos in my area. And then if I see anything that's going to drop, I let everybody in the area know that, hey, I saw this at this Costco. So that's how people find out and stand in line at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning
it
when
does
we're all
help
working.
to know people. I mean, come on. I mean, that's the name of the game, is getting it at the right price, but also being able to get that particular bottle that you want. But it goes back to the original statement I made. It's that FOMO. We all have it. It's just that how bad do we have it? And, I ate my own words when I said, yeah, I've been good for a while until I saw the Smoke Wagon Christmas bottles for $19 and I had to go and buy 3 of them.
Yeah, but
okay. And it's like,
that's 19
I just wanted the
Anthony.
bottle because of the damn Christmas tree on it. I've got tons of the straight juice. I mean, there's nothing special about the juice in it. It's just the bottle. But it makes a nice gift for somebody who likes bourbon and, just put it in a frickin' sock and throw it at him. Here you go.
So here's the thing, Anthony, you're better than I am, because because you only bought 3 bottles. If I would have saw a Smoke Wagon, just because it's not $20 normally, it's it's upwards of like 25, 26, sometimes $30. So if I would have walked into some place like a liquor lineup or something like that, and they would have had those at $19.99 a piece, I wouldn't have bought 3. I would have bought 2 cases, and then freaking distributed them throughout, to the people that can't get a hold of those Christmas bottles.
I needed. Yeah. I got what I needed and I wanted, and I let other people grab it. Now, the thing about that is I know they'll get more, and then when it gets right around Christmas, if they don't sell them all and they have 5 or 6 cases, they go from the normal price, let's just say at $34, they drop about $10 like that, because they want to move that bottle. And even last year in February, March, I was still seeing the previous Christmas bottles on the shelves for like $20. I don't give a crap at that particular point what's on the front of the bottle. I know what's in the bottle. Yeah. I'm going to say $15. Let me think about that.
Yeah.
So you're right. You're right. That's when you pick up, a case or whatever. Yeah, they're great.
Well, just like last week out here, they started a Eagle Rare store pick. What I call, there's a 2-week period that during October to November, where we have what's called Eagle Rare store pick drops, and everybody gets these Eagle Rare store picks, and they usually sell them at a normal MSRP of $29.99 for the first couple days, and then they go right back up. They started the store picks this year. I think the cheapest I found it was $39.99, and they were all selling them for like $50 a bottle for store picks. And I was like, no, I'm not, because usually the last 2 years I've bought 2 or 3 cases from different stores, and then use it, gave them to people or whatever. And this year I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I'm not paying $50 for a freaking Eagle Rare store pick. It's not going to happen. It's not worth it to me. Because I know what the
generally retail, and 45. Yeah, you're paying more. Well, it will depend on where you are, but here in Vegas, $34.99 is retail, and you can find them for maybe $31. It just depends on the store, but $34.99 all day long for the for the straight bourbon. They're what I call it their flagship expression, their first one.
It just kills me because earlier in the year, a couple of stores out here that I trust, they got like mid-year, like around June, they got their Eagle Rare store picks in the regular bottles and the 175s. And the regular bottles store picks were $35, and the freaking 1.75s were $80. And I was like, I bought one of each. I still have the 175, but it's just like that's reasonable to me. A 1.75 liter freaking store pick for
And they're cool.
$80, and those big ass bottles are pretty cool. That's the other thing too. That's my okay. I can't say I don't have FOMO. If Old Forester like had a 1920 1.75 liter, I would probably FOMO for that because I would like to really have a big ass bottle like that.
You know what, Steve? I agree with what you said. You ever see what Steve said?
I don't have anything unopened.
I see. I have stuff unopened. It's just because I just haven't gotten to it yet. But yes, I'm much more selective now. When I came across the Wild Turkey 101 for $10 for $7.50, yeah, my hand reached out and I just picked that up because that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I don't care how many of them I got. I mean, you can't let that thing go for $10 because generally I'm picking up Wild Turkey, or if I'm in Arizona, Old Granddad bottle to bond for $12.99.
Yeah,
So
and then
I
like
always pick up at least one, if not two, if it's the Old Granddad, or if they have the Wild Turkey for.
And the other thing to consider is, okay, in this day in whiskey is that there are mediocre bottles for $50, $60, $70, or there's still a couple good ones out there at that price. But do you wait to not buy them in case you can get that $180 bottle? So you miss out on 3 bottles to get that 1 bottle.
And I've done that because it's like, you know what? I've got this or I've got that. And yeah, that's a decent price. But you know what? You're right. I want that. I want this particular bottle. And I know it's going to cost me, $150, or like you said, $180. It's like, I'll pass on these bottles because I want that. I'm just more selective now. I just don't grab it because it's there. It's like, do I want this? Do I want that?
Yeah, I understand. My thing is that I think I look forward more now to picks from the different whiskey channels and stuff like that. I look more forward to holding on to my money to get a chance to get some of those picks.
Some of those picks are fucking pretty pricey.
Yeah, but some of those picks that are pretty pricey end up being freaking. I mean, I don't have those bottles. Those bottles you can't get except for there.
That's absolutely true, but you consider the membership price plus the price of that bottle. Man, I don't know.
Well, I mean, okay, so like with the Mash and Journey, okay, I'm not high enough in there to get most of the bottles. Some of them, get down to me. Like I got the Whack Attack and I got the freaking
Marty,
the Macho Man bottles.
Cheers, guys.
Night, Marty.
Cheers.
Oh, Marty.
A lot of their keg and bottle stuff I've
All
been
right,
able
Marty.
to get a hold of, but outside of that, I don't really get a whole lot of the stuff.
I'm following Marty, guys. I'm out too. See ya.
See you,
All right,
Brian.
Night,
Brian.
Slapshot.
Cheers.
But like the shelf turds and the shelf turds picks and with freaking cat's eye and stuff like that, and the stuff with the wrench, those are affordable. They're affordable. Every bottle they've put out has been affordable. They've all been pretty damn good for what you're getting. And then, like I said, with the story time stuff, I think that I don't know because I just ordered the original port night, so I'll know when I get it if Shane's saying it's not necessarily a $65 bottle. Well, guess it's a Starlight. I'm expecting to pay at least 60 or $70 for a Starlight anyway, so I'm not going to be disappointed. But
You will be.
but like
Wait a minute,
the
Shane. I
twins
thought for
bottles.
$65 you got two, or was that for me? And Stan's the only one that pays the full price.
Yes, dude.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell him that. I'm sorry. I'm
So,
sorry. Shit.
so but I don't think I've gotten I didn't get Thanksgiving and Christmas last year, but I did get the
Oh,
twins.
dude, you missed out on some freaking phenomenal juices.
Rubbing it on him.
Yeah.
I have
So-
to tell him because
but
I talk
I got
about
the
them.
twins, I got the twins bottles, which I really, really like.
I do too.
Especially ST3. The rye's pretty good too. Then freaking
SP1 is the one you guys call the rye.
yeah. But now I just after this I got shipped to me and everything else this week. I got the cigar blend and the Port Night Rises, the Russells that Shane just got from Liquor at the Lakes, and then my ODB, and then I just ordered a Port Night tonight so I could compare it. And like I said, I'd rather spend a little bit more to get something I trust people's palates and stuff, and it's supporting people that that support me in freaking a lot of ways that people don't know that they support me in and stuff like that. So I just get more of a kick out of freaking saving off of buying some bottle that I already have some version of. This time I didn't get batch 3 of whatever, even though I have batch 1 and 2, and I'm like, FOMO kind of has gone out the window because I'm just tired of trying to chase stuff anymore. If it's there on the shelf and it's at a good price, then I'll get it. If not,
Well,
I'll
that's
get a
like
sample
the-
I'm going to get a sample from somebody. So
That's like the barrel proofs, the Elijah Craig's, the A, B, C 2022s. I just didn't get them this year. I mean, I've had them last year and I thought they were good. I like the C9 22 or 21 last year. I thought it was real good. Matter of fact, the other night I poured an A 121 and I haven't had that in a while. And I was like, damn, this is good. But you know what? That FOMO of missing out, that was gone. I was like, but I touched all of them on the shelf this week, A, B, and C, for $64.99 a bottle. They were all there.
yeah.
A, B, and C. But I was like, I just, like you said,
Grab
if I
that
really
seed
want to
batch,
taste,
Anthony.
if I really want to taste, I know enough people, I could say, hey, I'll trade you some samples. And it's here. But I just, this year I just didn't have that. And I was like, heck with it.
That's the same for me for larceny. Unfortunately,
Hey, Chris.
the larceny barrel proofs do not hit here at all. Shout out to Shane. He let me jump the line and get one off of Greg McDonald. It's actually my first bottle of larceny. Never
Never opened it.
I have not opened it yet.
So
That's a good one, though.
I'm cherishing it.
Damn good one.
What is it, a 522 or a 922?
922.
Yeah.
Should be the
Yeah.
922.
But I find the Elijah Craig barrel proofs here, as long as I'm in a store, for what happens is I can see them online and they hit Philadelphia and the eastern counties. So I know within 2 or 3 weeks they're going to hit here, and I can get them. Larceny barrel proofs they're never here. So
Yeah,
I see them in other states that I can hunt in when I'm traveling for work, but they're shit. I've seen them as high as $239, $249. I'm not paying $100.
Yeah. Yeah, there was out here, truthfully, out in California, very few places have gotten the 922s. Either one, ECBP or larceny. I've got 522. I think I got 2 522s and an A122 of larceny, and then I have one from last year. But like
Cheers,
ECBP.
Mark. Thanks for popping on, man.
It's one of those ones that if it shows up, cool. If it doesn't show up, then like I said, I just holler at Vic or I holler at freaking Joe or somebody and say, hey, can I get
Yeah.
a
me get a
sample
taste.
so I can try it?
And that's the beauty of the community.
It
Stanley.
is. It is.
You know, it's just like some of these bottles that I have you can't get anymore. And if it's certain people, they'll get 2 ounce samples and other people get 1 ounce samples. You know, like, Shane will get like a half ounce sample if I ever
How did I
send
know,
anything to him.
Shane? How did I know? Uh-huh.
No, but like my stuff's open to anybody that, wants a sample of what I got. It's just that some of the stuff they just got to realize I'm only going to be sending out 1 ounce samples of, because that's the whatever. Once I get to that half bottle on it, I'm not going to sample out anymore in case it's a very special person for a very special occasion. Because I got I still want to have some myself, but no, just like I always trip out when people say they can't find bookers. Is because I don't have a problem finding bookers. I just have a problem finding bookers that's not at secondary already when it hits here.
Yeah. So Booker's is on my list along with Bardstown and and hell, I got the new Makers releases.
Oh, BRT 1 and 2?
Yeah. I don't know. At least the Makers releases are $60, so you can. Look at that!
I haven't had this in a while, so I figured I'd pull it out.
But I'm not buying Bookers anymore. I get
Kentucky tea. I can get for
it's
about
from the good. It's
$105.
from the good part of the warehouse, but it's $100 plus tax here. I've got 5 that I'm lukewarm on. I think the best one I have is Pigskin. What was that? The last batch of 20, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kentucky tea is pretty good, but I'm with you. I swore off Booker's after 2 in a row that I thought were just garbage, and the price just kept going up. So I'm like, this makes no sense.
Well,
yeah.
The only reason I own the Bookers that I do is truthfully, I went. So I bought a Pigskin for $89 at a store. Okay.
$89 is a reasonable price.
But that's when it came out. So and it was still like $89 was still like the new freaking normal for Bookers. So I went to a Target local to me, and they had Boston batch for $56 because they're clearancing it. So I bought the bottle, the one that was the one they had, I bought. Then I went back a couple weeks later, and they had Pigskins up there clearancing them out for $60. So I bought those 2 that they had, added it to one I already had, and then a year later, Donahoe's batch comes out. It automatically glows on clearance at freaking the same Target for $65. I bought all 3 of those Donahoes, and it's like you can't freaking pass up shit like that when it's
that's a reasonable price for that whiskey. The only
quote unquote Booker's product I've ever bought, like full blown, like freaking went ahead and said I had to have it and paid like $10 over retail, was I bought a freaking Little Book, the brown rice, and regret buying it. It's not that it's bad; it's just not great.
It's not 120. Well, Little Books hit here; they're 125 bucks. I've never bought one of them.
Yeah, I bought mine for 105 after tax, but it was at that time it was going for like 93 or 94 out here in a lot of places, and I bought it for like $10 more. But I was like, I never had one day. That was when I was really into. I've never had it, so I should go ahead and buy it. And then realizing, hey, maybe you should ask people for samples before you freaking spend that.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm okay with. And again, I wanted the Bardstown 8. I'm a fan of Bardstown, but now the cheapest I ever see them is 120, 25, 130 bucks. Now they're $159.
Yep. I'm just going to say $160 a bottle. Yep.
Nope. I'm done. And you're shoving a bunch of fucking Tennessee whiskey or a bunch of corn whiskey in it. No, thank you. Not for that price.
I'm trying to remember who bought Bardstown now. It just popped out of my head. But we'll see what happens over the next few years, because a lot of their distillate's going to start coming of age and they're going to start using more. But I forget who bought Bardstown. Gosh.
Well, it wasn't Diageo. It was
No. I know it wasn't, because they bought Balcones, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the same company that bought Green River. Well, I'm sorry, Green River.
Bardstown bought Green River.
Bardstown owns Green River.
Bought Green River, and then freaking, which used to be the O.Z. Tyler distillery. And then freaking Bardstown got bought out by Four Roses by
Hold on, I'm Googling.
No.
It was a Campari.
Oh, Campari.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yes,
Campari.
that's it. It's
So I'm trying to think of the three. You got the Diageo, you got the freaking Buffalo Trace guys, freaking Suntory, Beam Suntory.
Internet says Pritzker Private Capital.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I was going to say,
No.
it's like, I was thinking money management company. It is.
Yeah.
It's a group of people.
Oh, that's right. Because it was. Listen to this. So the valuation on it. Was it that one that was Wilderness Trail? Wilderness Trail had a valuation of $600 million on a $20 million EBITDA. So if you know anything about business, what EBITDA is, that's their earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization, right?
Yep.
So their book of sales in a year is 20 million, Wilderness Trail EBITDA. They were valued at 600 million. I can tell you right now, financially, that makes 0 sense. Someone is playing a long game. So that's the one that I think Campari then bought them, right? I think that's who Campari bought. And they paid like $500 million for 70% controlling interest in Wilderness Trail.
Well, okay, so the thing is, though, right? This is what I don't understand is that I understand the valuation thing and everything else, but I thought that valuation was based on the fact that they are the ones that supply all the yeast strains to everybody.
No. Valuation can only be based off of sales. And how they got to 600 million
from a
is
$20
like somebody's
million
playing
book.
some games. Somebody really playing some games.
There must be something there we're missing.
Well, it's literally the finance guys going in there and saying, well, we project that the whiskey industry is going to be this. So in a 3-year run, this company's valuation will be at 80 million a year. And then they did a 5-year projection out of that. And that's where they come up with the valuation.
And then threw some money at them. And then there's a curtain that says, if you don't reach this, you are going to give up another percentage and we're going to go ahead and take you over.
Exactly.
Yep. That's how it's played.
That's the kind of shit, though, that is going to unravel the industry, because it's just like in the housing market where you've got kind of these inflated valuations, and then all of a sudden the revenue isn't there.
Right.
Now, if the revenue's there, great. It was a gamble that paid off. But there's a high probability that that revenue is not going to be there, and then you're going to see a good brand like that get dismantled
and not be anywhere. Well, the Wilderness Trail name will stand there, but the juice that they're putting in their bottles will be
right.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
somebody else that they own.
But now that Shane put it in that perspective, that they are dreaming that this is going to happen and this is what it's worth because of what they have sitting in warehouses.
But on the other side of that, Wilderness Trail bottles are up to. I was buying Wilderness Trail in Ohio for $50 2 years ago. Now they're $80.
Wilderness Trail's revenue is predominantly from contract distilling.
Sure.
It's like 70 to 80% of that 20 million that they get in a year is contract distilling. The rest is what they get off. Their own product is not where the value's at all. It's really that contract distillation. They're one of the only distillers.
Shane, you could say that about Foregate. You could say that about Old Carter. Who else?
What do you mean? No, they're buying all their stuff. Wilderness Trail is distilling for everybody.
Yes.
So their stills are running 24/7. That's where their value is at. It's in that contract.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying that they're contracting it.
Yep.
They're distilling it as they're contracting somebody else to distill.
Right.
I got it.
So then the thought is, I should say, Campari is going to come in, and there's already rumors that they're shutting off contract distilling to all these other houses, and they're going to focus on Campari brands. That's the word. If that happens, that 80% of that revenue that was contract distilling is going to drop significantly. So what does that mean? Well, that means that Campari is now going to be putting out brands of whiskey, more so from a marketing standpoint. Stuff that already exists probably, but there's going to be more marketing because now they're going to say, hey, we've got the horsepower behind these brands now to supply. So we're going to go and flood markets like crazy with these brands.
So basically, Campari being the smaller of the big three is trying to make a power play because Wilderness Trail.
That's what they're all doing.
I mean, well, because like MGP, the whole Lux Row thing, everybody's making this crazy ass power play to try to shut off other people from getting the stuff, and it's like, I mean, okay,
well,
so
it's not to shut off other people; it's just to grow. They want a bigger footprint.
Right. Well, I mean, because
they're using distribution channels because that's the big piece that a lot of people don't understand too. Those distribution channels that are already established are a big deal, and they have a value associated to them because there's relationships and communication pathways and approvals that have already been established. So those have a value associated to them. So if I buy a brand that has distribution in states that I'm not in, that is of huge value to me as a distiller. Right? So that's a big play. So now their footprint grows. And I promise you, their focus is international. It's not US, it's international. We're only 2% of all bourbon is only 2% of all spirits sold in the world. And of that 2%, like 1.3 is in the US.
Yeah, and it's only somewhere in the vicinity of 20% in American market.
Yeah. So what's insane is they're going after China, India, and Europe like crazy because that's the next big threshold for them. And if they added 1% to the market of just for bourbon, American bourbon, it would almost double the size of the demand on bourbon. So think about that.
Next time you guys go into your local liquor store that's not state controlled.
Yeah.
And you have a relationship with that store owner, ask them what the percentage on bourbon or whiskey or even Scotch, just whiskey in general. Vodka and other spirits are kicking the living piss out of fucking bourbon sales in those stores.
Yep. Yeah.
All day long.
Burkow, the price for I am looking at a 1,500 liter column still for here. And the current price is around $500,000. plus or minus. I would say Wilderness Trails equipment is probably north of 3 or 4 million based on what I've seen of their stuff. So there's some asset there, but it doesn't really hold value like that. I mean, Wilderness Trails' true value is their yeast strains and their current distribution models. And like I said, the fact that because they have all those yeast strains in house, they can contract to distill for anybody. Any brand could go to Wilderness Trail and say, we need you to make our stuff, and it's going to be damn near identical to what they could do in their own stills because they have all the same yeast strains.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when it comes to Wilderness Trail, the part of their issue is that a lot of their products are sweet mash products, not freaking sour mash products. So it costs them more to produce those than it would be to produce sour mash, because they're literally clean. Like every time they do a batch, they're cleaning everything back out and starting over from freaking scratch.
Start from scratch.
But marketing is going to clean all that up, and they're going to grab their money on that side anyway.
Yep.
So, Shane, let me ask you a question. If you put that still out back, you going to do vodka and gin?
I'll probably have to. You're going to have. I'm going to have to do something to keep the lights on, kind of thing, right?
Absolutely.
Obviously, the big portion when you look at the business model. So the first 4 years, I'm really NDPing, right? So I'm buying barrels for really the first 2 years. I'm buying barrels, but the first 4 years of release are going to be NDP barrels for the most part, because I won't have anything available really to sell bourbon wise until 4 years at a minimum, because that's kind of the sweet spot. 4 years at a minimum,
unless you finish it.
Yeah. But again, that's still NDP.
But then to buy those barrels are out freaking outrageous now. So that's an additional cost that you might not want to go down. So that would fill the gap.
Yeah. So doing some special vodkas or gins or any kind of really neutral spirit, even rums. You could get by with some rums that have some short. I can do small barrels. Like I could do really small barrels that can age in a year, and do some fun little like special releases, which actually there's some distilleries that are doing that's producing some good stuff, but you're only going to get, 60, 80 bottles tops out of a barrel.
Right. And then have to charge a fortune to make you money back.
Exactly. I mean, and you're not going to compete, right? You're going to have to build a distillery that's more than just a still. You're going to have a restaurant. You're going to have a merch store. You're going to have something that draws people in and gets some money to keep things going. So for sure, gin and vodka would be on the table. I would have a lot of fun with a lot of things though, just because I like all spirits, to be quite honest. There's very few spirits I've not tried that I just didn't like. So Steve Burkow asked, Wilderness Trail's a mini MGP. I would not say Wilderness Trail's a mini MGP. Yeah, I would say they're of the same size. And to be honest, I think Wilderness Trail is probably outproducing them right now. Because Wilderness Trail is running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That still is running. Well, multiple still are running.
Yeah, it's and people don't realize how much Green River was freaking contract distilling either.
Oh,
that's why they got bought up like quick.
Okay. I bought several OZ Tyler barrels. Yeah. I've got 4 or 5, I think, maybe 6. I don't know. I have to go back and look. Sitting up in Chicago right now, aging.
And then Virtue, which the Junkies.
So they're buying from Wilderness Trail
and Sagamore. Yeah,
the Sagamore thing's a little funky, but primarily Wilderness Trail.
So
and even then, I don't think they're buying direct from Wilderness Trail. I think they're buying from White Dog, who is a big barrel broker in Lexington. And they're actually they just built a new still facility. So they had rick houses, which are really just big climate controlled still buildings. And they bought this property in Lexington, and then in one of the buildings they're now putting a still in because they currently were using like 30 or 40% maybe of Wilderness Trails availability on their stills was making product for them. And they're a non-branded, all they do is sell. So they were just filling barrels and selling them as an NDP. Did not brand their own whiskey. They did some special releases that were like single barrels or 10 barrel, but they don't do any branded whiskey. All they're doing is housing whiskey for other people. Carter's use them. Widow Jane uses them. I've seen a ton of people's barrels in that warehouse. And that's who Sean and Dan are using as well. And it makes sense because White Dog's probably the biggest barrel broker there is.
Well, everybody's got to get it from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
But-
even the big guys only have so many barrels that they're willing to part with for picks because
Heaven Hill, Beam, and Turkey used to release barrels to the public, like to brokers. They don't do that anymore.
yeah,
Like
well, they need
if
what
they-
they got.
The only time they'll do anything, all of a sudden there'll just be a secret tanker that shows up on the market, like a full tanker. They're like, there's a tanker available, and it's Kentucky bourbon, and this is the mash bill. You look up the mash bill, you know exactly what distiller it is, and they'll say it's 6 years, it's 8 years, it's 12 years, whatever it is, and then you find out what happened is it didn't meet the profile that they were looking for, so they'll clean out a rick and make room for the next run.
Right.
And so when they do that,
Or
they dump it all.
or they finish it.
What's that?
Or they finish it.
They could, but honestly, they don't want to mess with that. They make more money off of doing single barrels and then selling it to a broker than they do selling it under their own label.
Oh yeah,
So, or else it shows up in freaking big giant white totes on the back of a bunch of freaking trucks.
It ends up in totes, but yeah, it comes out as a tanker first. Then someone takes the tanker and fills totes up.
And then tells everybody
Sure.
there's a bunch of 15-year totes that people are chasing like white elephants for freaking 2 years.
Yeah, those were Jim Beam totes.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah, but the other side of that is, are they also dumping 2-year whiskey that people like, I don't know, let's say Doc Swinson
Mm-hmm.
are, and then they're finishing in barrels that have, I don't know, 4 or 5 gallons of wine in the bottom of it.
Well, not in that. So not in the case of those tankers. So those tankers.
No, not the
Those
tankers,
all
but
have to
I'm
have-
saying are there distilleries tasting some whiskey at 2 or 3 years old and saying, all right, yeah, this isn't going to be where we want it to be, or just selling it straight up saying, yeah, it's in line. We'll sell it to you at 2 years old. And then these other labels, names,
Mhm.
distilleries, finish it in barrels that they have and are throwing freaking garbage in the bottom of it and finishing whiskey.
I mean, that's always a potential. I would say the perfect example of what you're talking about is all those Barton barrels. So that Barton stuff that all got sold out at like 10, 11 years old. Carter's bought it. Lucky 7 bought it. There's like 4 other people that went in and bought because there was a big lot that got pushed out, and they bought hundreds of barrels at a time in these little lots of barrels. And it was all the same stuff. And so for whatever reason, Barton didn't like it. It didn't fit whatever they were trying to do. They released it. It may have tasted like shit, right? Who knows? Well, then Carter's, as an example, sat on those barrels and said, this mash bill's a good mash bill. We just feel like it's not hit the right maturity. So they're going and checking those barrels every 2-3 months. And they're saying, whoa, these barrels are changing. And so you look at like all the single barrels that the Carter's released, primarily were all that same stuff, that 12, 13, and now 14-year-old, and now 15, well, getting close to 15-year-old stuff. That was all Barton stuff. Lucky 7 did the same thing. They bought these barrels at 10, 11 years old. They hit 12, and only special ones they released, because the first Proprietor series came out, it was 12-year. And then maybe the ones that were a little bit better, they proofed down to 100. They proofed down to 100, and then they released what they called the hold up, I think it was. So 100 proof. Then they aged a little bit more. Then they got the 14-year, and then we all got hands on those really high proof, really nice single barrels. And guess what? They did a 14-year hold up. So now they're going to be doing a 15-year. But that's the same stuff that the Carters have. It's the same stuff from the same distillation season. So in that case,
interesting. But I guess my question was, Shane, was now in this day and age with whiskey the way it is, bourbon whiskey, and finishing, are there distilleries or non-producing distilleries buying 2 or 3 year old whiskey, finishing it in some barrels that they may have paid a fortune for or may have not, and adding influence such as wine to the bottom of the barrels of these things? Because I was never a fan of a finished whiskey, to be quite honest with you. However, I've had a couple that are very good and worth the $100 or the $120 that I paid for it. But I've bought a couple here recently in the $60 to $80 range that they finish when I drink them. Yeah, there's some bourbon notes in there, but holy shit, it's all muscatel. It's all sherry.
Right.
It's all, I mean, so I'm starting to wonder now, should I stay away from finished whiskeys, especially in that $80 range? Am I getting ripped off?
I would go ahead and invest. I would look a little bit farther into whatever bottles you're buying, and finding out whether or not they're using wet barrels to finish to do their finishes, or they're using dried barrels to do their finishes, because that makes a huge freaking difference. If it's a wet barrel, you might get like a lot more of the finish,
Stanley,
the finished feeling to it.
But I guess I'm looking for the definition of a wet barrel, because are we talking
any barrel that has any residue in the bottom, whether it be a freaking a quarter of an inch or freaking 2 or 3 freaking inches of freaking wine or whatever in it, but also normally a dry barrel, but a dry barrel is usually something that they've literally taken the head off of, and it's literally dried out, and then they fill it back up.
I understand the difference. I guess what I'm getting at is
Good Times is the only people I know that freaking use freaking dump.
Those are the only ones that got caught. Those are the only ones that got caught.
I'm trying to think of anybody else that really.
I think what I'm getting at, Stanley, is are they extremely wet? Is what I'm saying.
Well, there's always that chance. I don't think it's something that people intentionally do. There are definitely brands out there that do that, for sure.
Anthony pulled down an N.O. Is that what you got? Oh shit! Get the barbecue out.
All right, I got to be up in 4 hours, so.
See you, Stanley.
All right,
Steve Burkow. Yes, they're net sales, but remember, MGP.
Sorry, guys.
What MGP does.
I got to get up in 2 hours.
See ya. Hey, man.
Right.
Jackson, you were so quiet. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah.
Cheers to you, by the way.
Going good.
All right, Chris.
buddy.
Thanks for popping on, man. Cheers.
All right, cheers.
They did for sure 400 million. They're definitely a huge thing. I didn't want to make it sound like that Wilderness Trail was as big necessarily as an overall business. I meant specifically from a distillation perspective. Wilderness Trail is running that freaking still like it's on fire. Like it's just literally insane what they're doing. I don't think MGP, not to my knowledge, is running like that. Now maybe with the conglomeration and some of the other places they bought up, they are. But they're also sitting on a lot more age stuff. Whereas Wilderness Trail, they're sitting on a ton of whiskey, doesn't count as revenue. And that's probably part of that valuation. I mean, that's absolutely part of the valuation. It has to be.
Yeah, it has to be. There's no way. There's
Yeah.
no way that they're projecting.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there is a cost to it, and there
Well,
is
there-
a
there-
value
well,
to it. You know,
And now that we talk about that, that makes a little more sense. And something that I didn't bring up is one thing that's happened is in the financial world, banks are now loaning money against barrels. Barrels of whiskey are a commodity, and they have a value. And a bank will loan money against it. So if you're running a still and you've got a rick house full of barrels full of whiskey, a bank will basically loan you money against those barrels of whiskey. So that's probably where that valuation comes. That it has to be because there's
it
no
would
other
have
way.
to be.
Yeah, there's no other way.
To have an EBITDA of 20 million, but
Yeah,
be worth
600 million.
It's like what?
That just blows my mind.
And you're right. In retrospect, in thinking about that, you're right. It's they're getting some of the value and is off those barrels, which is true. They are worth something. Excuse me, they are worth something. Oh my gosh, this Anoa is definitely night and day difference.
that's camp whiskey, man.
What's that?
That I know. It's camp whiskey. Outside, I fucking love that whiskey outside.
I got the campfire.
Oh, did
And,
you? What did you think about that? The High West?
Yeah. And let me just say this. It's good. It leans more towards a Scotch note because it is.
Well, yeah,
there
it's
is some
a
blended
it's
Scotch
single
in there.
malt blended with bourbon, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know you did a video on it. I haven't
I
watched
did,
it yet,
but you
but
know
I
what?
will.
It was not as smoky or as I was led to believe. There is a presence, but when somebody tells you, oh yeah, it's like being, in a campfire, like you're having a campfire, you're chewing on a campfire. No, not to me, it wasn't. The smoke was there, but it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything terrible.
What was the price out there, Anthony?
$70.
What was the price? Yeah, that's about what it was here. I passed on it. I'm not a huge fan of American single malts.
This wasn't bad.
you know-
I will say that, but to me, even though it was a rye and bourbon and all that stuff, more so the Scotch influence came out. Steve, cheers. It's great having you on. Yes, this is a great conversation tonight. Good information and just good whiskey talk. So cheers and thank you for coming on as always, brother. Appreciate you.
And Steve, I apologize for my dumbass. I always dumb things down, but
Absolutely didn't dumb it down. You got to ask. You got to get clarification.
Yeah, there is nothing wrong with that. Yep.
I'm just happy to be here with you, Anthony. I don't get to see you as much since you started going late on Sundays.
Well, you know what? I primarily did it so Jim could go on, but Jim hadn't been doing it at 4 because of his work schedule. It was better for him if he could go on at 4. And so I just moved a couple of nights and it just works out a little better. I mean, I'm not saying that I won't ever go back. I don't know. But
speaking of work tomorrow,
I know.
It's
I
going to
know.
be great.
Oh, yeah.
My phone usually starts ringing about 6:30. It'll be great. It's 2:09 here in the Commonwealth.
Hey,
Cheers.
honestly, if you want to drop and get it 3
Hey, man.
hours of shut eye, 4 hours, do it. Do it. Don't be shy. Shane won't be mad. But B. Bauer,
will
yeah,
not.
I always try to have some good content and good whiskey talk as far as that goes. And I appreciate everybody that's not only on stream, but also that's in the chat, because there's some good information that goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We all don't have the answers, but together we can figure it out.
Exactly.
Shane always has good information on the business side. And that's kind of where I come from. Again, I asked the question earlier tonight, is a year from now, as a consumer, just on the consumer side, I'm starting to struggle now with, there's this good bottle for $60. And so now, I come down into the dive bar and I'm like, I got that $60 whiskey sitting there. I'm going to sit down with that. And I can enjoy that. But I also have that
$100, $120,
or
plus.
more.
Yeah.
Or more.
That
or more.
I don't I don't want to drink it all, because I don't want to pay the money that I paid for it again.
Yep.
And now I'm starting to struggle with,
Your
is
struggle.
there that $60, $70, $80 bottle out there that's going to blow my mind?
And there is.
That tells me, yes, don't spend that 200 or 300 or more.
Yeah.
And
Ben, cheers, man. Great having you on as always. I know it's late up there in Canada, but look forward to
that's where
seeing
I'm
you
at
again
now.
next week.
I do $62. Well,
You
plus
can't
shipping.
beat it for $62. That's for sure. Matt,
one of my
get some
favorites.
shut-eye, man. 2 a.m. It's time for you to go to bed too. So I will catch you, brother.
But man, I'm starting to get a little bougie with the whiskey, I guess is what I'm saying.
Everybody is. Everyone's getting to that point where, you know what? I don't mind if it's a good bottle, $150, drop it. We've all done more than that. We've all done it, but you get to the point to where I'm still looking for that $50, $60 whiskey that's like, oh man, this is good. I can get this. And so, as much as I talk about it, but that's still Austin cast strength at $45. Freaking buy a couple of bottles of that, because that's a sleeper.
Yeah. And
even their flagship at 40, 42 or something like that, it's good too for the money. And so buy it. If you can find the Iron Root,
it's
Harbinger,
not here.
The 115, the chocolate note on that.
Yeah, it's not here.
For the $50 on the bottle, buy the damn thing. 115 proof. It's nice. It doesn't drink hot. Right now, it's still a good value for the money, but it was gone for a while off the shelves just because it got popular. And as soon as it went back and hit the shelf, I reached out and grabbed it, but I already had a sample. Vic brought me the sample during Whiskey Weekend in September. I got the bottle after that. I just opened the sample 2 days ago. Wow, is that freaking thing good? So now if I see another bottle, that might be one I'll get a backup for, because I already had a backup for the Still Austin. So
yeah, Garrison Brothers just hit here in Pennsylvania at retail.
That's overpriced.
Yeah, They're
and it's
shit.
mediocre. I've had a couple of pours. It's
So it's going to be tough to not say that about everybody. Overpriced.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Well,
they were
everybody.
overpriced 2 years ago. I thought when
Well,
they came.
they're a craft distillery.
True, they are.
They're
not
a craft distillery, and that's hard. It's hard to compete when you've got distilleries that are running millions of barrels, and you're doing 100. You're doing 100-barrel distillation run, and they're doing 10,000 barrel distillation runs. It becomes very difficult to compete or be competitive.
All right, I'll tell you what. Pennsylvania's running small batch $89.99. Their straight bourbon is out of stock. Never mind. Garrison, the Honeydew $89.99. Oh, here's the Brothers Cowboy Bourbon $299.
Yeah, that's the best product they probably have outside of maybe some crazy special releases that are whatever. They have some weird names. The Cowboy one is always really good, but it's $300.
Yeah, that's why I said
that's a lot.
Ridiculous.
$300. I mean, that's King of Kentucky price.
And guess who's going to buy the
honest.
King of Kentucky first?
I think we all did, right?
This guy.
I'm telling you,
there's
right
a
now,
single barrel
Richie,
for $130.
mine is
And
that
then
Still Austin cast strength so far.
So Still Austin is not in Pennsylvania. I think I've run across a couple of those in Maryland. I'll have to double check the next time I'm down there. But what's a reasonable price, Anthony?
$45, $50.
Okay.
For the cast strength. Yeah. Because that's what I'm paying here, right in between there.
Well, Vegas, though, I can expect to pay at least $20 or $30 more than that. So $70 for a cast strength, or no?
Let me just say this: it's $70. That would probably be my top on that. But like I said, I'm at about the $45 price range here. So yeah, if you can get it for no more than 70, and that's tax included. Yeah, because if I came down there and dropped it off, you're talking what, at least $10 for breakfast by the time I get there. So yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, well, welcome to the Commonwealth, buddy. Scotch here. Scotch is ridiculous.
Well, you don't generally get good Scotch in the state stores there.
Nothing worth mentioning, but everything's gone up $10-15. They did. Pennsylvania got the Warehouse One Cartridge batch, Lefroy batch this year. Last year, every store I went into had a sign for that PX. I never found the PX. Never found that Cartridge PX.
Now I do know it was here, but it's gone. Okay,
yeah,
so
and
55.
it's $99 here. I bought it online for $89 and added a couple things to it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yep. No, it's just getting ridiculous, and I just look for that. I don't want to say bargain, because nothing's really a bargain anymore, but I do look for that one that's at the right price. When I say at the right price, under a C note that you can continuously buy, that's good flavor, good proof, good drinker.
And
we all have those north of $100 bottles, but you get to the point where it's like you got to start drawing the line.
My problem now, Anthony, is that I'm all over the place. I come down here, I drink the same 10
Couple.
bottles, but I got 200.
Yeah.
And I want to narrow it down and have my $50 drinkers, my $70 drinkers, and then, those ones
Mhm.
up there, but be responsible about it. Because quite frankly, I've been irresponsible in my spending in whiskey. And unfortunately, I've just tried to wipe the slate clean lately, whether it was with memberships and Patreon and all of it,
Oh, yeah.
because I got sucked into YouTube early on during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
2 years ago, I was a freaking beer in a Jack and a beer back guy. Now all of a sudden, I've got $10,000 worth of whiskey sitting in my basement that I'm never going to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's awesome to say, "Ooh, I got this bottle."
Yeah.
But at the end of the
But
day,
that's that FOMO. That's
Who
that
gives
FOMO.
who freaking cares? And yes, some guys come over from time to time, but it ain't enough to justify what I have sitting here. And again, my collection is nothing compared to some of the guys that I know.
Look, when I come over there, I can assure you that Master's Keep is going to get drained.
I have your address. I'll send you a sample of all three of those. I got to get some sample bottles.
But I'm just saying, when I go home, I know where I'm going. I'm not going to the VFW.
Sir, we will go to the VFW. When we're done, we will finish up here.
Well, honestly, Rob, that's the true. That's the true reason why you have all those bottles, though. It's not because you're an alcoholic and you've just got to have all these whiskeys. It's because the opportunity to share those with people and engage people on that level is what's appealing. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So you say it's irresponsible, and maybe from a financial standpoint, you could say that as a black and white statement, but in reality, you're kind of investing in relationship building that's coming. And in that case,
I understand that. I understand that point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's last night I sat down here with my sister-in-law's man, and he enjoyed 5 or 6 pours but again, he doesn't understand whiskey. But again, I got to share it.
Yep.
And got to talk to him because he's about to make a trip to Florida. And I'm like, I'll watch your fucking cat, but make sure you're looking for, here's my list.
Yeah.
So
that Prideful Goat, that's not a bad bottle.
So tell me about that. Which one is it, Anthony?
Well, he's looking at B. Bauer. He said it dropped there with the 6-year MGP, and he's going to try and drive down and grab one tomorrow. He's got a little FOMO going on. I don't
those
have
are reasonably priced MGP bottles. They're what, $60?
I think you're right. I don't recall, but
however,
they're over 75.
Yeah. Their 15-year was a little spendy. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right there. 6.5-year MGP. 50. Actually, I've got 8 sets left. They're on sale in the store.
Yeah.
So
visit Story Time. AB. Solid whiskey.
Yep. No, that's the Jepsons. That's the twins. Yeah. You know what, B. Bauer, if you haven't looked at Story Time, those twins that the Jepsons picked, I've tasted those. They're pretty good for the money. And if Shane's got a couple left, I'm not saying because he wants to
left
sell
on the
them,
store, and I'm selling it at $100 for a set. That's 2 bottles for $50 each.
And you can't. They're good.
Hey, B. Bauer, I paid more than that. Oh, actually, I didn't.
Most people
Fred
did.
Doug sent me. Doug sent me those bottles. I actually got them for free. Fucking
Yeah.
love those guys.
Yeah, they're good dudes, man.
And 65 for the Prideful Goat. I agree, B-Bauer. That'd be about right.
That's
and-
to me, that's the sweet spot. I mean,
Yeah.
you on average, it's up to $40. Okay, and then once you get past $40, then I'm thinking about $10 a year, roughly. And then you get over 10 years, and then it's like $15 a year. Everything over 10. And then you get over 15, and then it's like $20 a year for every year over 15.
Yeah, that's the Bourbon Real Talk guy, right?
That's
That's
it.
The Prideful Goat guy? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He's a good dude. I was supposed to call him, and I've been meaning to. I just haven't had a chance to get to it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like a lot of the stuff that he does.
Oh, he's dude. He is legit. He puts it all out there, holds no information back, pulls no punches. This is what it is.
Yep.
I love that about him. He's a great dude because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And his Facebook, I'm not members of too many Facebook whiskey channels anymore because there's a bunch of nonsense in them. His is really, really good. Hey, Whiskey RN, where have you been?
She's been lurking. She's been lurking in the back.
Been looking for a video from you? I know. I'm not that good either. I can't, I get busy.
Mm-hmm.
She says she met him.
Sierra.
Well, my last pour of the night's going to be this Noah, and it has turned out to be really good. I can't remember the last time I sipped
poured
on
this
that.
6-year Wilderness Trail bottled in bond.
Oh, I like Wilderness Trail. I'm just hoping
It's
that the new company doesn't influence its direction too much. Let's put it that way.
I have to go to Ohio to get it. It's not on the shelf here, and that's the only one I have. And
They don't have them in PA?
no, no.
What are you? You're 35, 40 minutes away from being in Ohio.
Yeah, the problem is my account's changed, and I don't get to Ohio anymore because that was the land of Weller, and I could find the Weller in the Kroger grocery stores of all places. And
yeah.
Actually, I can't get my Cooper's Craft 100 anymore. But I'm gonna have to make a trip.
Well, go down to St. Clairsville, stop in Wheeling, and then
Anthony,
over
that
there.
store in Wheeling, they have the Octomores, the new.
Yeah.
They have the 10s, the 11s, the 12s, and the 13s. Ain't one of them under $300.
Yeah, well, they can keep them.
They're gonna have to.
Well, B. Bauer,
All right.
that's Swenson pick.
I'm gonna do
When
one
you
more
get a good
pour.
pour. Yeah.
And I'm gonna make
it is.
I'm gonna have a little Cooper's Craft.
You're not wrong, B. Bauer.
Nope. Those
I tell you,
Swensons
I am
good.
so excited about the, and I really need to, but I've told a couple people about this. The Nick single barrel that's coming out of the Jepsons that Storytime's doing. That thing, I promise you, is unreal. And it's going to be, I finally got my licensing all worked out now, so my pricing is going to be a lot less. It'll probably be in the neighborhood of the $55-ish for a 7-year MGP that I would put up against Desert Jewel, Elevator Batch, any of those single releases from Smoke Wagon. Dude, it is magical. Only one barrel, though. Well, there's actually two. The second one's not quite as good as that one, but it is also elevated above normal. What I would say, you get those honey barrels that are just special. They just got so much more going on.
Aaron,
That's
just so you know, that's a challenge by Storytime.
it is.
He's looking to compete with you.
I'm not looking to compete. I'm just looking to say, hey, you can go pay $1,000 for an elevator match, or you can
500
be
for
smart
chains. Yeah.
and get it for like 60, 55 or 60.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be a 7-year. So it'll be less than the $10 a year.
There you go. There you go. But well, Cooper's Craft tasting pretty good there.
It's okay.
Uh-huh.
It's
Well, what I find sometimes is I gotta try to stay with a very close flavor profile. Sometimes jumping from the left side to the
Anthony,
right
I've
side.
been all over it. Marty and I were doing blends with Elijah Craig 18, C922, B22, and the A. Before that, we were drinking several other things. I've been all over the place, but at the end of the day, for a freaking $30,
Oh yeah. There you go. There's that magic number. If you can find one that you like for that, that's a solid thing. That's for sure.
There's a ton of bottles in that $30 less that are all outstanding. The biggest difference is they're just not complex, right?
Oh.
They're very 1, 2, 3-dimensional at best,
absolutely.
which is great.
And if you start the day, you start your day out. If you're going to come down and have a couple pours and stay in that lane,
yeah,
this is a fucking superstar.
Exactly.
Same thing with Evan Williams single barrel.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Or
those are rock stars. I don't even like talking about them because they're not that they're getting harder and harder to get.
Hey,
those Evan
Shane,
Williams
did
single
you
barrels.
see the unicorn auction? Were you looking at the unicorn auction at all today that ended? There were 2012, 13, 14s, 15s that went for like $80-$90.
Oh my God. That's sad. Because those bottles are right up there with, I would put them up against ECPP pirate bottles.
Yeah. Like
they're just great bottles.
Shit. I don't have it here anymore. I can't tell you the next date. That was the next one might be January, but pay attention because they all didn't sell. And a lot of them had no reserve on them.
God, dude, those you find Evan Williams single barrels, the black wax ones, you see them out there, they're going to be $25-$30 probably. Some places you'll see them, they'll be 40. Even then, and they're low proof. Don't let that low proof fool you.
But those are the ones that you're going to sit down with first. You obviously don't want to go to that after you had 120 proof.
Yeah, it's going to basically be water.
you sit down with them, and a lot of times when I do come down and I'm just maybe finishing up a little work, I want to get out of my office, I'll come down here and have a pour and finish up work. That's where I'm at. 85, 86, 90 proof, maybe 95. I'll go to an Elmer or something like that. It's Friday.
Right.
Finish it up. I'm almost out of Elmer if anybody's got any. Anybody? No?
I haven't even opened my Elmer yet.
Oh, hey, Anthony, that Elmer, I challenge you. Take that. Again, remember what the retail price is on that Elmer? It's the single barrel Elmer, and put it up against an Eagle Rare. I like Eagle Rare by itself, but when I put it up the Elmer kicks the living piss out of it. I understand why the price is elevated, but it's a damn shame.
Mm-hmm.
But man, those Elmers are good.
What's a Patreon bottle? I'm not sure I follow you there, B. Bauer. If you're
Shane can make
asking
him
about,
any Patreon bottle you want.
yeah, I think if you're asking about those twins, if that's the case, so it's not Patreon. What it is the legal channels that I have to use to get those bottles to you guys is I don't sell you bottles. I buy those bottles for you. So I'm a purchasing agent for you. That's what allows me to get whiskey to you and not have to go through 3 more levels of taxes. And what will also help, because this next round of bottles that's going to be coming out are going to be significantly less, because now all my licensing is in effect. All those prices start to drop, which is fantastic. And it's because I'm not retailing these bottles to you. Yeah, the bottle you were saying you picked. Yeah, exactly. So there's ways to go about it. That's the way I have to do it at this time. The Authors Guild stuff, there will be commercial coming later on down the line, but we're not there yet. But I do have I have a cool new Christmas sweater I designed. Or Christmas sweatshirt, I should say.
Oh my gosh. Are you
Does it
gonna
have lights on it?
knit them yourself?
No, they're not
Oh,
knitted.
damn it.
It's sweatshirt. But I came up with this cool little Christmassy tagline. It says, "Have a very bourbon whiskey," instead of "a very Merry Christmas." And it looks like a Christmas sweater. Have a very bourbon whiskey. Goes FP. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Anthony.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
We're online. I'm not going to say nothing. Hey, B. hey, B. Sounds like you're new, man. So hopefully you'll take some lessons from a guy that has made a lot of mistakes in whiskey.
No, you? Come on.
Just be careful, buddy. Don't spend a shit ton of money on whiskey you can't afford. Learn about the whiskeys that you should spend the extra money on and keep it, a nice shelf behind you or in your whiskey room to share with other folks. And I'm talking about a shelf like this, that holds 16, 20 bottles. And then as you learn, that's where you want to be, buddy. Not this.
And he doesn't know that there's more to your left and
Yeah,
around the room.
There's a whole lot over there and there.
Yeah.
Just be careful. All I'm saying. Your budget. Mind your budget. People like Shane, people like Anthony, and hopefully me, just, Shane has some offerings that you will enjoy for a reasonable price. Anthony will tell you about some things that you should and shouldn't buy according to his palate.
Yep.
Learn your palate. Learn
Yes,
what you
exactly.
like. Learn what you like and find your middle and make sure that you just keep it within reason, because it's so easy to listen to people on YouTube and spend money that you don't need to spend, because
Yep.
if you want to
And
talk
most
about,
importantly, I say enjoy it with friends.
Oh yeah. I agree with you.
That's the most important thing.
I agree with you.
if you don't have any friends, Shane will
Hit us
fucking come to your house.
That's
Oh,
right.
count
I
on
will, or you can come to my house and we will find your palate.
Oh, that's right.
Richie Z, I do have plans to come out. I don't necessarily going to call it an album per se, but I do have some originals that I've done and some more covers coming. Got some funny ones and some serious ones. And I bought, but you can't see it probably very well there, I'll be playing drums on the next few songs. That's what that new drum set is right there.
Shane got
There.
drums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd been doing like digital drums. Now I'll actually be doing
Mm-hmm.
playing it.
Yep. Once he gets his rhythm down, he'll be set.
You got that
Mhm.
right. I got a lot of practice to do. Actually, I'm not a bad drummer. I just need to get a lot better.
I just need to get a lot better.
I could keep a very good beat, basic beat,
Mm-hmm.
but
Well, you're just no Cheech.
I am definitely no Cheech.
That's
Definitely
right.
no Cheech.
No,
But I
Cheech.
also play guitar and
Cheech doesn't play guitar.
doesn't play guitar.
No, he does not play.
And I
guitar.
also play the didgeridoo, which you can't see back there. I also play dulcimer. I play saxophone, trumpet, flute, piano, harp, yeah, a bunch of other stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Bass guitar, mandolin,
Mm-hmm.
banjo.
Right. All right. Well, we're going to shut the stream down. We'll chat a little bit offline, but it has been a good stream. I appreciate everybody in
Absolutely.
chat and on the panel. Look forward to seeing everybody again next week. Same time, same place, people. You all have a great, great evening, and I really do look forward to our chatting again. Cheers, people.
Cheers.
See you guys next week.
50. Ah!
Oh my gosh.